magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Heist Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats a rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. I'm joined by my ethereal translator and co-host, Paula Milo. Let's see if we can get her actually on screen.
Hey, everyone.
You have to get in to the shot. Thanks. You got to see your face. You wearing lipstick? What's up, Fearless family? Shout outs to everyone. Sorry, I'm a very Debbie Downer this evening. I am in terrible mood from not sleeping correctly. And since I've done this, I haven't tasted anything but salt in my mouth for 3 days straight now. And I've lost my shit. So just deal with me. It's been pressure filled. Everything that we've been doing, pressure to the point is you're going to fucking snap your fucking neck. That's the kind of pressure. So as we travel along the information highway tonight, just try to keep in mind that this shit drains you. It drains you on a level that you cannot believe, that you cannot understand. Okay. It will drive you into the fucking ground if you are not grounded. Okay. It'll bring you to the highest of the high and the lowest of the low. And everything in between. You will watch people die. You will watch them faint and pass out and throw up on themselves. You'll watch them curse and scream and kick and yell and do all kinds of shit at the people they love. You have to call upon help of people that actually know what this is. It is not easy what we do. For all of you that think that you're shotgun shaman, I'll tell you right now, you ain't seen nothing until you've seen one in the room with you. And that's just the way it is. We've had a lot of shows where we've dealt with many things. And I gotta be honest with you, don't know what's more frightening, the demonic version of these things or the actual ET fucked up things. I can't really tell the difference right now.
I think they're both equally crazy. Like they're both equally hard to deal with, depending on how long you've had the attachment, where it's attached, the reasons it's attached. I mean, this was Frank and I went into a Aya session that started Monday. It didn't end until Thursday. And we're just beat up. I mean, beat up. It took Frank and myself. It took the Fearless family. It took everyone that was connected to us to help remove this entity from one of our Fearless family. And it was an extremely spiritually and emotionally and physically draining experience. And, we're going to tell you the story. and you can choose to believe it or not, or take what you need from it. But it's just a wild story.
It's so much so that I'm choosing probably not to work with anyone throughout the ascension process from here on out. That's how intense it is.
Really?
I really don't want to see anyone. It has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me and my energy. I'm so stunned and angry right now. And I've been dealing with the presence of me having to speak about this. And now it's all around me, which is driving me nuts. It, the darkness wants a fucking seat at the table. Whether you want to believe that shit or not, I don't care. Okay. It wants to sit right there and it wants you to say, we are here and we're going to fuck you up, but don't talk about us because we don't exist. That's what it wants, right? But it does not want me telling you how to defeat it. It doesn't want anyone else talking about these things and how they're real and how every one of you probably has one at one time or another. They call it the sickness, right? Parasites and viruses and all kinds of weird things. AI, nanobots. Someone just hit me up a few minutes ago and said they had a massive a mushroom purge recently. And during the mushroom purge, all they did was throw up nanotech.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I can't. My fucking coffee's cold and the fucking blunt don't work. Nothing works around here. It's driving me fucking nuts. It's almost like they're just making the coffee cold. I literally just poured it. Literally. Jesus fucking Christ. So it's frustrating doing these things. It's tough dealing with this because people leave and they're nice and clean. And then I have to redo myself. Paula has to redo herself. I have to redo my home because it just keeps climbing and climbing at you because you're the one they hate.
Oh, yeah. 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 I agree with that.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. So there was a lot of energy, a lot of energy in the house, a lot of just things going wrong, things not going right. It's very draining. It's a very emotional experience when you're helping someone through the Aya experience to begin with. When you've decided to shaman someone, Frank goes through a very strong vetting process, and basically he establishes a relationship with the person well before they're ready to drink. And that relationship determines whether or not there is going to be an Aya session that takes place, whether or not he feels he can help in this situation, whether or not he feels Aya is going to help in this situation. A lot of people are told no, they're not ready to drink, or we can't facilitate the drink. These were members of the Fearless family that we have permission to tell the story. They had come to drink with us before. And we knew from the beginning that we were dealing with a very low level entity, a very deep rooted, deep seated problem, an entity that's probably been with this person for 44, 45 years at least. At least it could be a little bit longer. But that's the feeling that Frank and I got, that it's been that long. And in the last session, which was a few months ago, he was able to release a very big part of this. And we knew there was a little bit more that might have needed to happen, but we were kind of fooled. We thought that we had gotten most of or all of it out. And it wasn't the case. And during this experience, we realized exactly what we were dealing with, and all of the components and all of the pieces, and how everything is truly does fit together, and how everything really is a part of everything else. This session, by Monday night, Frank had a very good idea of what he was dealing with. And then
let's not skip ahead.
Oh,
let's just
okay.
tell the story.
Okay, all right.
we have a guest tonight. Tiffany's going to be coming on, Shaman Tiffany, about the 10 o'clock hour. And she's going to tell you from her perspective what happened, for what she saw, and how she helped the situation. It's good to get a lot of people that have honed in on this, that have mentally focused on it, because I cannot say this enough. I did not ever see any of these people, the look on their faces when this happened. I'll never forget it. I will never forget what you looked like. I'll never forget Della, the face that she made when it came into the room, and with Tiffany, who saw what was happening. And I'm sure there's this part of each and every one of us that are like, demons, happy hunting, son, right? And it's like, no, it's there.
Really a
Just
demon? Like, really, Frank? Demons?
So this is what you guys are dealing with now. And it's like, look, man, I didn't write the I didn't write the whole program.
No.
I'm going to assume without them, this program wouldn't run right for whatever reason. You need that, and you need the other side. Whatever that is at this fucking point. I can't even tell anymore. Okay. All I know is that in this last part of the battle, every single player on the field is more than important. More important than you could ever imagine. Those that are willing to make the move, those that are willing to make the adjustment, those that are willing to make the choice, to go the distance, to do the hard work. The ones that are right there. Those are the ones you have to grab, and you have to hold on, and you have to pull them out. Okay? If they ask, you got to bring them. You got to bring them up. If they're asking, that means it's now time that they need help. They need help. What are you going to do? What do? You can sit back and just watch it go. But would you let the dominant dark that has been here for so long actually throw another guy on the field? Right? You get nothing. It gives you nothing, and you not going into the light, you really get nothing. Okay? All it does is stagnate you into another round of this whole fucking bullshit again. And do you want to do the time? Or do you want to make the choice? I choose it. Look, you just see one of them, and you'll never look back the other way again. You'll never say, oh, I love my demon. Oh, I love this thing. You won't do it. I fucking guarantee you. Give me the most stoked, hard up, fucking satanic piece of shit, and I'll put him in the room with it. And then you give me the one that's like, I'm a shaman. I've dealt with everything. Oh, yeah? Go in the room with that. Come out. You come out with that riding on that thing's back, or shut the fuck up.
Without white hair.
Okay? That's how intense it is. I literally said this 100 times, and I'm going to make it 101 right now. And I'm sorry I'm like this. I'm pushing an attachment off of me. So I want you guys to know that, because I caught it. This is why my attitude, everything's changing. I actually physically caught it within me, and it's a little stiffening right now. But we've been working for days at this. Your small one ain't got shit on me. Right? Your little halos of this and whisperings of that and feelings of this, you can go fuck yourself. I am grounded. We are fearless, and I'm not going to let you win.
No.
Not only am I not going to let you win, I'm going to fuck you up. Check this out. Wrong style. Fuck you up. And then I'm going to bring friends this time.
Well, they already that's why you're feeling this way. They're already taking care of it.
I'm not fucking around no more. I'm not going to show up to the bully and be like, hey, bully, I got you right now, 1D. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to throw a brick off a fucking roof and hit you in the head. Then I'm going to jump off the roof, and I'm going to smack you right in the head with a flying elbow. Flying elbow works with Macho Man every time, right? To the demon. This is all to
No, I know.
Okay.
Are you going to step into a Slim Jim after?
Snap into the
snap into a Slim.
So I'm done. I'm not dealing with these things. All right. If I have, this is what I got to speak perfectly correct because these things are like,
because they're trying to mess with your speech.
yeah.
Yeah.
You will never, ever stand ground with me again. Ever. You have no place here, no more. You have no right to me or to anyone around me anymore, ever.
No.
From now forward.
No.
We can't
No.
change the past, but however, I can change now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. See,
Mhm.
it's starting to work. I'm
And
starting to
that's
get my
what we
smile back.
did.
It's like steaming out of my fucking neck.
I see it.
I want to
I
thank
see it.
everyone who's throwing energy at me right now. I know they don't win.
It happened to me too. Frank and I took a nap before we fell asleep. I don't even remember falling asleep. Anyway, he must have gotten up before me, didn't wake me up. I woke up. I was panicking. I was panicking that I had to go to work, that I was on call and I had to go to work. I got up. I didn't know where I was. I was looking. I didn't even know if I was here. Like, I didn't realize I was here. I thought I was somewhere else because I haven't worked in a couple of years. And looking around, and then I said, no, I'm off today. I don't have to go to work. And I went back in the bed, put the covers over me, and I said, I don't have to go to work today. And then I said, no, you have to get up. You do have to go to work. You have the show. Like, you have the show, but they were trying to do that to me too. It was like when they play with the alarm clock, like when the entities play with the alarm clock, or they play with the lights or a timer or something like that. It's like like mischievous beings, and it happened to Frank before, right before the show. He was having.
It's coming right out of my injury.
Is it really? That's where you feel it coming from? Really? In your neck? Okay. I bet you Tiffany's helping you pull it out.
I just need a moment. I'm actually hitting Tiffany up.
Take it. I'm
Know
sure.
what time and stuff. No,
Okay.
I'm good. I get so angry with these things. And we think they're so big and so... And I'm done with it. They're not magical.
No, they're not magical.
They're from a fucking realm, just like you and me.
Yes.
Okay.
A very 3D earthly.
They like
realm.
to, right? Where
yes.
they're
yes.
want to attach to you so they can be here in this space doing things touchy-feely style, the right way.
Yes.
Give me one of those bodies. I want to write to that body.
Prompting the right response. So what's the best way? What's the best way to get Frank upset? Mess with the show. It's always 10 minutes before the show. Always. And that's what happened tonight. And now I feel it. Now I see you coming back.
Let it be seen. I don't even give a shit anymore. It's all on the table. We don't have training wheels. No. You're not working with a fucking net.
No.
You're not. No. And this family's not going to do that. So now let's kick to something I want to just remind everyone. Just going to throw it out there. Psychedelics are from the last show to now. I've learned something about psychedelics for sure. They are the technology that you're supposed to be using to read the hieroglyphics. So if you take a high enough dose, you can read the hieroglyphics. It's a technology. You're wearing a technology. You're supposed to initiate yourself for the information. There, I said it.
But it makes sense, because when I heard that, I was like, what? But it does make sense, because when people try to interpret Egyptian hieroglyphics, right? Mm-hmm. The interpretations sometimes don't make a lot of sense. And you can blame language, or you can blame whatever you want. But, I believe, as well as a lot of people in the Fearless family, as well as our close friends, people drew what they saw. If they saw it, they drew it, they captured it. That's how they told a story. So we were watching this thing on YouTube, and I like that guy. You showed me that guy a couple of years ago. He's a shaman, and
was that the guy we were watching on the that was talking about?
On
okay,
the
that's the martial art master that passed away that we talk about. That they took they took all the guys from writing Doctor Strange and they brought him to this guy,
right?
Because he had passed away,
to help them understand
what it would look like on the big screen. Like what does
the psychedelic experience? This man summed it up in such a way. It was so profound, the way he was speaking and the way he was explaining how mushrooms came to be on this planet and how old they truly are, and how they are basically every shaman's like one tool.
It's the go-to.
It's
100%.
You know, you want to understand. You want to understand everything in the universe. That's where you go. And you know, he had said, I believe he said, if you take the mushroom and you look at the hieroglyphics, it's like an unlock code. So you're supposed to take the psychedelic and look at the hieroglyphics, and then they tell you the story. They come alive. And then they tell you the story. So it's not actually reading it and breaking it down.
You actually get to witness it.
Yes, it's actually a live experience that you have. So I'm very interested in seeing seeing how true that is. It's amazing. It's like everything he said was just so profound and so direct and so easy to understand. It was truly amazing.
Now I got to bring something up. Remember, you told me to keep some. I had nothing prepared. It was all prepared, and then
no. That's okay. That's okay.
So he taught that through experience of going through up to positive 30 grams, right? And you'd throw it up, and then you'd replace what you threw up just by eyeballing it. It looks like I threw up 10 grams, and you just replace it. Will take you into the zone where you jump into the hieroglyphic, right? When I first started doing this, I worked with my buddy Eric. I hope he's all right. I haven't spoken to him. He's not. I don't even see him on Facebook anymore. It didn't work with him the first time, and it worked with me, which was weird. And then he came back a year later. It worked again, and we were in my basement. And that's when the Anunnaki grabbed us. But right before that happened, I saw the wall come alive in my basement, and these like triangles was spinning. It would like come out. There was like a circle around it. It would like flash, and it was like cool oranges or reds, and and it would spin, and then the spin would show you all different kinds of shit. Excuse me. You know when they have those fans where they have the you could like write a statement like, New York Jets, and then the fan spins and it'll say New York Jets, and you're just like, wow, how does it do that? It was doing that with signs and symbols, other ones. So I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And it was like, you'd hear, and then it would jump up, and then you'd see it spinning and doing kind of weird shit, and then it would change, go back in, and then come back out as another. And I'm like, whoa. So I look over at Eric, and then he was just, and I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, do you see that? I'm like, are you seeing he's like, hieroglyphics come off your wall and come to life and talk to me? But it was just signs and symbols. It wasn't actually pictures. However, moments after that, it was like we were separated. And I remember looking down and looking up and feeling like I wasn't in my basement. And my next thought was, where's Eric? And I looked over and he was gone. But I was sitting there, and in a movie when there's like that realization, it like the guy, he goes, oh, and he gets it, and he goes to look up, and the whole room goes, and you're like, oh shit, it's gonna happen right now.
Right.
I said,
everyone knows but you it's gonna happen.
Right. Everyone watching's like, oh, he's finally figuring it out.
Right.
Holy
right.
Okay, so it was weird like that because the basement's small, and it did that. It made it like wide, and I said, I'm not in my basement, am I? Holy shit. And then this being had me by the waist. I saw fingers coming around me and grabbed me and just tilted me forward. And I said, whoa, what are you doing? And then
you were the size of an action figure.
And
right?
I was like this, what are you doing to me, man? And then, oh, Frank, what did you do to your back? What did you do to your neck? What did you do? And then I felt moving around in my spine and in my neck as if Cobra Commander today will be the retard. Okay, so just working in there, I felt it. It wasn't quite like this. I attribute it to like, actually, it might have been.
Do you know if there was an anal probe involved?
There was no anal probing because I wasn't bent over from the butt because I was sitting in a chair, right? But I was hunched
Oh, Cobra Commander looked a little.
And then I
hunched over
heard
there.
another voice, and he said, "Yeah, he really did mess this up. Here,
Right.
try this."
Right.
And when I looked over, it was a human, big, really big, but he was wearing a helmet, right?
Yeah,
So
let the cat in.
the helmet was one eye. So it was like this.
That might have been the scan.
And
to
then
scan your body to let
it
you
had
know what was wrong.
just one. And then he was in there though, because I saw the two eyes in there. I looked at him. I was like, Triclops from He-Man, right? Like I got nothing. Never seen this before. It's a Cyclops. Nah, it's a dude wearing a fucking helmet, and he was like it was switching in there. So he must have been staring at me and stuff. And he was like, "We love you, man. We really, really love you." I go, "Where's my friend Eric? Where is he?" And they're like, "He's right there." So I turn, and it was my bedroom, which is in the basement. And then when I looked over, it looked like a railway station, like a train station that was really nice, where it could just pull up, except where you get out and walk around. On one side, it was all science, and on the other side, it was all science. And I was like, I saw Eric was strapped to a table, and he had one arm free. I got to do lefty. And he's like, so I waved to him, and then I'm like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You all right?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." He goes, "This is kind of good. I feel really good." And I go, "Me too." Then it got all ayahuasca where I flew to the ceiling. I said, "Eric, look at me." And he goes, "I can't believe we're even here together." Like he goes, "It just didn't even work. And now you have giant men behind you and you're flying on the ceiling."
Right.
And then when we kind of got back,
Right. But
I don't remember coming back into my body. I remember just going like back to the position I was in, looking at these beings, and they were like, "We love you. We love you." I'm like, yeah, everyone's been saying that. You guys left us here. You created bodies. You left us under these things. And they were like, we know what we did. However, we're back. So how do you feel? I was like, "Oh man, I'm good. So I sat down, and I just remember doing like my head down and looking back up, and Eric was sitting right next to me. Like, so I went and I sat next to him, and I was like, "All right, how you doing?" And he was like, "I was not expecting like the mushroom trip that we all took prior, at least in the world of people that I've been dealing with that don't have too much psychedelic experience. Like, oh, we ate some mushrooms when we were kids, but we never had a breakthrough. This is something completely different." Now, once I noticed ayahuasca, who is of the earth, right, gives you that breakthrough. When you eat a mushroom after that, right, it just goes. So like less becomes more. Remember we went through this?
Right.
So you'll have like 2 grams and it'll feel like the 5 grams, or the half gram feels like the 2 grams. This weird thing begins to happen. And I think you just get the highway open. Like you get the clogs to go away.
Right.
So now you're open rein and free to do this correctly. Oh man, I feel so much better. And just so you know, it's not a pain in my neck. It's a entity wrapped around my head and neck and attached to my back. It's gone now.
In the space where you were injured.
Where I was
it's
injured,
very
where I
easy
fell
to
right
attack
there.
that space because it's fragile. Yes.
You know what it felt like?
Yes.
A hand.
Uh-huh.
And then I was doing this on the inside. No. You ever have a friend when you shake their hand, it's just too strong?
Yeah.
And you just imagine like you having like a knife and going, or like something in your hand, and you're like, "You can't have this." Ah! And then they just grab you and go, "Nope, give it to me." And then you just can't, like a little baby.
Okay, here's Frank. He's back. Okay. Because are you wearing lipstick, guy?
I just asked. All
right.
Your lips were glowing from here.
Thank you. They were glowing because because
Go ahead. I'll let you joke your way out of this one.
I am a very good person. That's why.
And they just glow. I get it.
Anyway,
Anyway, so all of these things piggyback between one another. And I notice when we don't have breakthroughs, it's just the original breakthrough.
But this guy even explains, what's his name? I can't remember. I never remember
right
his
here.
name. That's his name. Yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. This man
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that right now.
explains
It would
that
be disrespectful.
the psilocybin, the mushroom, has been here on this planet longer than Aya, the Aya root, the actual acacia root.
Before the root can grow,
Before,
it was loaded with mushrooms here.
Yes, and yes,
and they're not from here.
And they're not from here. They're alien to this planet. ET to this planet, and because they hate that, they hate aliens.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just getting us used to saying it.
No, I know, and I don't want to get a.
Hey, you alien guys!
I don't want to get a baddie sticker when we have to all meet.
What, are you gonna try to put up a wall around us, Frank? No.
No.
Never mind.
So, so he's saying that the difference between the Aya and the mushroom is very small, but you need alchemy with the Aya. You need a person between you and the Aya. Someone has to actually take the Aya and mix it with water and create the drink, the tea. There's alchemy involved. There needs to be a person involved to make that happen. When you take the mushroom, there's no alchemy. It's you and the earth, and that's it. And the connection is it could be the same, or it could even be stronger depending on how much you take. And basically he's saying there is no amount that's too much that you can take.
No, so I think it's the LD50, which is how much it takes to kill you times 2 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or cut in half. I don't know how that. However, you would need to eat 10 times your body weight.
Right.
The amount
in
mushrooms, which is just impossible.
Right.
Even if it was one time, I'm a 200-pound guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Give or take, you're not eating anything close to that. No. And if you ate it over time, you'd be okay.
I can't eat over 10 ounces of red meat anymore because we just don't eat red meat.
It makes me collapse and fall.
I know.
On the floor.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, I can't even eat a piece of like a big.
I eat fucking 6 bananas since I want to apologize for my assholeness at the beginning of this. Bad, Frank. I'll fucking help people. I don't care. I'm just exhausted.
I think
it runs you down.
But I think that's what it is. Like we fell asleep and like your mother called, she left a message.
I've been running around like a maniac, and it was like I got drained.
And she was like, "Call me back," and then it was 4 minutes before the show, and I was like, "I can't call her back now because then I can't text her and say it's like she just." So I should have just texted her anyway.
Well,
whatever.
My grandfather's okay.
Well, she would have called you and said, "Your grandfather's not okay. Give me a call." I mean, I don't think she'd do that. Whatever.
So this is the story. We all go through it.
You know.
All right. So here's another thing. What I'm doing is randomly leading you into this week because this stuff's important because I want you to science this.
It is important.
What we did was so crazy and so awesome, right, Della? Right, Joe?
We were talking about on the
holy fuck
on the last show. We were talking about having Ellen over on Sunday, right? Because Ellen, you're in Denver now. You're going to be in Denver.
Shout out to Ellen.
I love you. I miss you so
All
much.
Right.
We had Ellen over Sunday, and then we were preparing for Della and Joe on Monday. This is where we were last show. Had we thought 7 days later that we would have been through what we've been through, the exhaust, there's no words for it. Like we have to figure out now, like a protocol for you and I. Like, what do we there's got to be like a protocol that we do after, like a
detoxification process,
detox cleansing.
Just right away it started.
Right. And you know, we
got to do this, we got to do that.
But we thought we were good. We saged, we did. We saged.
This shit takes more than
But
sage.
anyway, I think we so anyway, you and I
we're jumping ahead again. I was still talking about this guy.
Oh,
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, go ahead.
You keep jumping. All right.
Don't wheel me off.
Fuck out of here. So check this shit out. Last statement before Paula runs us directly into the other side is when you look at that face.
Asshole. I don't understand.
So when you sit on the magic carpet, the mandala.
Yeah, let's just talk so no one understands exactly anything or when or what or how.
We were talking about it. No, let's talk about how you jump ahead and always ruin the list.
I don't.
Let's do it.
There
is
no
right
list. You have no list.
I do.
Oh, you just didn't show it to me.
You never get to see.
I know that. I write.
You will never see the list.
You see, this is the difference.
You have a better chance at going outside right now and looking at ET phoning home than ever seeing that list again, homie.
Oh, okay. This is how it
Homie.
is. Okay.
I, Cobra Commander, command you to never see the list
Okay.
ever again.
Okay. You see, this is what unconditional
This
love
is what we do, right? We go
Okay.
through it just like you guys.
Because Paula never says never to Frank. Never. Paula never uses those words. You will never, ever.
Oh, see,
like, no, there is none of that. Because you know why? People make mistakes all the time, and that's okay.
no one lives down reading Harry Potter before all the little girls and then running out in front of the bookstore and going, whatever, do we... Sirius,
that dad
Sirius
was
Black gets beheaded on page 500.
That dad was a dick, and he had a mob of parents and children that were going to kill him.
Well, I don't
Anyway.
say kill him. I just say beat him with dirty pumpkins.
Dirty pumpkin. Okay.
So,
all right, go ahead.
I just want.
I will never see the list before I could come on the show like an animal, like he's gonna secretly beat Paula behind closed doors.
Why would I need to beat you?
You looked very angry.
I am angry. Was angry.
Hmm.
How could I not be angry with the situation that was arising around
I
here?
understand that, but I didn't get angry because you were being a dick to me.
I can't edit this stuff out. You know that, right? So your dirty laundry is now everywhere.
My dirty laundry? There is no dirty laundry.
See what I'm saying? I should have been a politician. I'm so good at this.
Oh my God.
She's speechless.
Oh my God.
And I'm Frank Castle, and this is Fearless.
You know what?
I had her the whole time in the octopus grip. So check it out. I just want to give my man, the shaman master, respect where it's due, because I didn't know he passed away.
He did?
Yes, he's dead. He died when COVID started of COVID. According to their stuff.
If that's even true. If that's true, he'll be the first person I knew that died from COVID.
Well,
I don't even know.
But he looked kind of sick in one of his. I haven't seen all of them. I just seen one or two. They were kind of the same exact thing. Well, but I saw that, and then we were under all week.
Look, I only saw that
really
one
works.
video. No, and I think that was the same video that I saw a while ago.
Yeah, it's the exact same one. That's why I was looking for a new one, and then I found it, but it was like.
But he was so precise in the way he spoke. Like you couldn't not. There was no way to misunderstand.
He uses the Marvel characters like we do in his presentation.
Someone's sending me love because I could feel it in my shoulder. No, because you're being a dick. That's why. Yeah. See, so someone's sending me love.
See, there's no winning. There's no winning.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't try to win. It's just exist through it.
Yeah, just be. Okay, just like I have to be when you're an animal and crazy. I just have to wait till it passes.
One of the things that we should all think about is when looking at mandalas, right? And you're wondering when you look at a mandala what you're looking at, right? That design, that's usually in carpets.
I love that design.
In what culture? Many cultures.
Many cultures.
Okay.
Indian culture, but many cultures.
So it's this weird design that when you look down on it, you're like, oh, these designs are cool. It really makes me feel good. You would sit on that carpet and you would have your experience. And literally the carpet is it's the view from the top. If you were looking down onto an aerial view.
Oh, I see that.
Right. So the carpet doesn't get up and fly. Right. It's not that kind of magic carpet. You sit on it and the carpet, you like fall in by sitting on it. You sit into that area and it rises around you.
I think it's
that's what it is. But you get to sit. It's like a floor portal.
Or what do you call it? A Taurus, like field.
Yeah, well, you just step on it and it's already there, compact into that every place to go.
That mandala thing the towel we were sitting in, the circular towel we were sitting in South Carolina during the
only thing that saved us.
That saved us because
I heard a lot of shit and a lot of radio hosts talk about what happened to us in South Carolina. And like, y'all bitches weren't there. We were in protected circles.
I felt it.
Two of us were not, and they got fucking. They got blasted.
They still don't talk to us. They just never talk to us.
They were sitting in these giant squares, and I'm like, yo, you guys got to get in the circle. Shaman Gina jumped on our back to be in the circle with us. Remember that?
She had her. Didn't she have?
We had two.
Yeah,
we were all huddling at one point, looking up like, whoa, because she jumped right in between us. that was weird. But she was like over our back. I remember looking up because she was going, look at this, look at this, look at this. Remember, because we only had the 2, and then they had the 2 giants. Anyway, so I've heard all these stories about what had happened to us down there. But if you're using the tools in your shaman bag,
Oh
so
yeah,
to
I'd
speak,
say that. Yeah.
right? Your crystals,
Yeah, we
and
didn't
you're
have a lot of tools,
listening.
no.
Well, we had a couple though. I did a sigil when I was there.
Oh no,
I put
we
all my
did.
crystals
we
under
did. We did. You're right. You're
the
right.
King
I forgot
Solomon
about that.
sigils.
You had the paper sigils. that you did.
Yeah, we did some cool shit.
I remember.
Okay, so the circle thing works. However, it only works with certain things, right? Like if you were dealing with an ET, I don't think a circle would work, right? That's like dealing with someone that just knocks on the door and comes in
Hey,
and goes,
look,
"Hey, buddy."
You don't
I'm just-
know. What if you don't know? Look,
I don't think it would. I think they would
Look.
just kick it over and walk all over you. That's
Did-
like me coming in the room and just going, "Hey, you think this circle works? Nice circle, needs more dragons." And just jump on whoever's in the circle
Did you think that?
and be like,
Did you
"Bah!"
think that a Did you think that a rock of salt was going to save your life that night?
No,
the
rock
first
is
time
that's a
we did it?
mineral.
But I think it worked because we believed it would
All
work.
right, so it worked because we were working with a demon. It worked because we were working with energies. If a guy comes running in the room, you got. Why is this even part of the conversation again?
I thought you were talking etherically. I didn't realize you were talking.
No, I'm just making a point. I
Oh, go
said
ahead. I'm
to
sorry. I don't even
to
know
my
why I said anything.
co-host,
I'm sorry. Okay. go ahead.
"Hey, do you think the circle would work if an ET showed up?"
I think anything would work if you believe it will work.
So if I tell you believe that this isn't going to get you in 3 seconds, 2, 1, didn't work. See that's what I'm trying to show you.
No, don't do that.
Did it work? No, my point is right there. Okay, so but shaman bag time. I'm gonna show you guys something. We're gonna start it off with a little clip that Paula and I was wondering when doing any when doing anything with ayahuasca, you never know what arises. You never know what entities you're dealing with, or the different kind of stuff that might be coming up. And I know this might sound funny to some, and I know we're all over the place tonight. Don't worry about it. We'll bring it back together. Do you want back in?
I want back. Do I want?
Do you want back in?
Oh, why was there a chance I was out?
All right, so so it's always good to whatever you learn in any of these experiences, right? To be able to use it because things might re-arise when you're working with someone else.
Of course, yeah. That's why the toolkit is so heavy now because of all the shit that we've been through.
I can't. I fucking can't. So I was saying to you, "Hey Paula, remember back then it was like, when did this become the Ghostbusters?" Right? And I was bugging out on it.
Yeah.
Now we're all the way over here, and then you made a comment like a week ago. It's like when the ghost trap opens up in Ghostbusters, and it kind of and it just gets sucked in, like
Right.
when we're doing some of the work. So we're
Yes.
making jokes and we're becoming Ghostbusters. However, you get to a point that maybe that ghost trap maybe doesn't work. Maybe we need a different kind of trap, right? Because it's a different
agree.
kind of character. So as they differ from one another, different things work, like a vampire, a werewolf. So the silver bullets.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then there's
Okay,
crosses.
Okay. All right.
And then there's some work with direct energy or mantras or something like that. Okay. So I kept saying, wow, this is like Van Helsing when he opens his box and he doesn't quite know what he's dealing with. Now, Van Helsing, the one I was talking about, is really old, right?
That's a Wolverine was Van Helsing. Yeah.
No, go further back.
Oh,
I meant the original when he fought Nosferatu. He opened his case and then there was garlic, holy water, this, that, but there was stuff that had to do with other monsters.
I'm sure.
So he comes out and he throws the water on the girl and it doesn't burn her. So he goes, He makes that look like, well, I guess that one's not a vampire, right? Like
Yeah.
he's just in his head. Then he goes
Okay,
back and
check.
he gets something else and he comes out and then he pins the cross to her fucking head and she goes, hey. So he's like, so it's a different kind of monster. Right. So I was
Okay.
wondering, where have we seen this?
In the movies.
Where,
All
like,
the time.
I remember it from back then. And
Right.
so Paul and I were talking, and I found it. I just want to share it. I can't put the volume on. I'll watch it with you. So
Yeah,
we'll
we
do a
can't put the
split
volume
screen.
on because we don't know what the rules are. Oh, Jesus.
Son of a
Christmas.
Christmas.
I'm coming.
All right. Let's shut all this off. Just bear with me. I'm having a rough moment here. There we go.
Can you put the volume on? We don't know.
No, I'm not going to. So this is the opening scene of Constantine. I want you guys to just peep this shit. So I'll walk you through it.
And
He's basically trying to keep things in place that come out of hell in this specific reason.
Okay.
For this movie. So now he comes in the room. Young girl's tied to the bed, and here he goes. Flipping through. Nope. And yep. Now I know what I'm dealing with.
I see.
And I can come over here and I can deal with you. Right?
So now he knows what to do.
Yeah. Now, prior to that moment, he had no fucking clue what was going on.
Right.
He just knows it's something. Very much like ayahuasca. He goads it, gets it to come out. Look at me. Right? And what do he says, you tell him it was Constantine and then uses the weapon. That'll work. Now he's burning it out. This is just something to keep its attention, to keep it from connecting 100%. It starts pulling up the roots
and all of its energy
and the energy out of the girl by disrupting it.
Yeah.
So now she's down for the count. It's going to get ugly now, right? He's like, oh, did I kill her? What happened? Did it leave? I don't know, but there's more to the process. Now, I know people think this is fucking fun and games. However, when that kind of shit happens right there, there's a fucking problem, right? Now it's get the mirror. Okay, the mirror plays a big role in certain things. Anyway, so we're not going to watch the whole movie, so I'm just going to stop it right there. They get a mirror. They show it, the reflection. And then from the reflection, they take the mirror, they throw it out the window and shatter it. He traps it in the mirror because it looks at its own reflection. Now, where have we heard looking at its own reflection fucks it up? What's the matter? Get over here.
I'm uncomfortable because I keep having to get settled back in the chair.
Oh, that's all right. Every time I get in your car from now on, I'm moving the seat and the windows and the mirrors. Do something. Just kidding. Come here.
You think? He loves me so much.
All right.
You'll find out why I'm laughing when he's ready to talk about it because I'm not allowed to say anything. So
now, with all that being prefaced, it's the first night, right? You weren't there the first night, were you?
No.
Okay.
I was holding it down here, but you were texting me.
Okay. So
yes.
Here. All right.
Yes, because I had to get the wands out.
So yes. I brought not my wands the first night. I was kind of limited, but not. I had all the shaman stuff. Della and Joe, it was great to see them. She kind of nudged me in a direction of understanding that he's been having an issue with this, like as if he fell back because we've worked together before. So I'm like thinking in my head, it really, I think that was the bathroom this time. It really can't be much worse than anything it was prior to seeing us the last time. You know, things should be a certain way right now.
Right.
That wasn't a one and done. Like, we beat the shit out of him and he himself, and he did the work, and you were doing work. So it should be up here right now, but it was not. It was just kind of over here. So Aya has such a funny way of working. I was amped up, right? I was like, we're going to make this work. Everything's going to be good. And I didn't even know what was going on. I get the two of them under, and they were sitting. Oh, hello.
What is
Hi,
that?
beautiful.
He's trying. Hold on. He's trying to. I've gotten up like 9 times now. What are you trying to tell me? Come on. Hold on. This is.
I know what
important.
they're trying to tell you.
Come on. What are you trying to tell me? Show me.
This better be good. Okay, so I had them sitting on the couch. They drank. Okay, so Del and Joe, I love you guys so much. I said, I got the buckets. Everything's prepared. He starts like having contortions and starts going into some weird. His face was moving, right? Like bending, like just really intensely though. So it started getting out of hand pretty quick. He was purging. Now I'm kind of shutting the story a little because we're gonna see it and hear it maybe from a couple of perspectives. Thank you. I'm sorry. So it got so bad. Now I was standing in front of him and Della. I was just looking at him, and I had eaten mushrooms, and it was really strong. It was good, and I'm looking at them, and Della's having like a passive experience, right? I think she purged and got that out of the way or whatever. But then there was this next part where it was kind of becoming about him, and we were like looking at him, making, "Hey, you're right. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Everything's fine." So I was like, "All right, it's obvious something's wrong."
Right.
Then he loses his shit. He goes into full blast demonic. It looked to me like, how the faces move through your face, like you can see them. It wasn't like that where the face jumped down, try to bite you like that. It was moving around, like his face around, like echoes of everything and contortions to the point where he was, and then he started roaring and speaking in demonic language. And Della just went, like, looking at him, like, what the fuck? And I was like, okay, playtime's over. Like, it went from an experience to, I think we're going to go to war. Like, holy fuck, it's speaking through him, which is the worst case scenario. It fully controls you. That's the worst case. But right before that, they use your mouth and speak. Right? So if they're speaking through you, they can grab you and make you do stupid shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you think you're being playful, and then you lash out, and poor Paula doesn't get a push in the chair. She gets fucking stabbed with the Nimrod pen, and right. And then the guy's like, I don't know why I would ever do that to you.
Right.
Like,
right.
I would never do that. That didn't even feel like me. The devil made me do it. All these fucking things. However, attachments, they come in all shapes and sizes and forms. I was looking at him, and I'm like, wow. Della, go in the other room. And she excused herself. I made sure she went in the other room. Aya was telling me, Frank, separate them. They need to have two separate experiences. They need to stand as their own two people, as individuals.
Right.
One is having no problem doing that. The other is having a problem, as you can see, doing that. So right. I need you to separate them. No holding hands tonight. So I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So she went in. I was like, Della, you okay? She looked at me. She was fine. She was absolutely fine. I was like, I don't want you to worry. Nothing. And the door, I just kind of pushed it, walking.
And then you texted me.
I started texting you. Oh, Paul, you're right.
That's right.
I was texting you at that moment.
Right.
I went, I need you.
So I said,
to do something.
Yeah. So you said, Paula, this is happening. You're there. So I said, okay, let me get the wands. I'll get my wands because that's how strong they are. And I don't care if anyone believes this or not, but this is the way it went down. I get my wands and I put them on the trunk. We have a trunk in the living room that we use as a coffee table. So I put them on the table. I clear the space. I have crystals out, and the wands actually turn the direction of where the house is located, because they're in a
We were in the neighborhood.
They're in a house. They're in the neighborhood. So the wands strategically move themselves into place. So now they're pointing in that direction, because I had them pointed in another direction. And I said, okay. And now they start vibrating. So now I'm sending.
Wait, you sent me a picture of the wands too.
Right. And I
so
sent
to
a
have a
picture.
visual.
So now I showed Frank my setup at home. And now the top of the trunk feels like it's vibrating. And now I'm sending my energy. And it's funny because Joe, he's in the room now, and he said he felt like I was in the room with everyone and I was in his ear, yelling in his ear. And here I was talking to Joe, but I didn't think he could hear me, because I'm telling Joe, calm down, breathe, everything's okay, you're going to be fine. Like,
and I knew as long as you had gotten the text, I was like, please pick up your fucking phone and look at this. That's what I was thinking to you. Please, because I know if you're in effect, you know, because Della was like, well, look, there's 3 of us. I go, and we were in that situation once again. It was me, her, and him. And I go, no, we got to call Paula. Like, I'm not going through this again.
Yeah, it's only 2 of us.
There's only 2 of us. He doesn't count.
Yeah, he doesn't count. He can't help himself.
No, but it's funny because it's the exact same situation. I'm going through the same situation as we went through with Zed, and then went through with, you know, a couple others. I don't want to talk about their stories, but we went through it.
Yeah,
and
4 or 5 times.
I fell on my face in those ceremonies where I got smashed in the wall.
Right. I remember.
Choked with a tentacle dick, just all kinds of weird fucked up shit. And I'm like, oh my God, I definitely don't want to go through this stuff. So I realized, too, as this was going on, I was like, yo, Della, no matter what happens, we started becoming like 2 military people kind of, but I was going, hey, listen, here's the plan. Shadow me. You'll pick it up. Well, I don't know what to do. You'll know what to do. Trust me. You know how I know? How do you know? Because I didn't know what to do and I did it.
Right.
And it works.
Right. You just figure it out.
It works. But
fine.
Okay. Don't jump ahead, Frank. Don't jump ahead. So here we go. I got Paula energy in the room. I walk to back and forth across him because he's throwing up a lot. He's purging. It's like Tiffany called it ectoplasm. So it was a lot of stuff, like 45 years of life that was contained or crushed into, or compacted, not crushed, compacted, filled with this stuff that was connected. Nick Zervos, shout outs, calls it getting the red dye out of the water.
Yeah.
That's how hard this is.
Try to get try to get blood out of the water.
Try to get it out.
You can't do
have
it.
Fucking fun, right? And it's like, well, we have technology, make the technology, right? So I go in, Tiff, I see you in the background, hang in there. All right, good, you see me. All right, just give me a moment. And then so I'm walking back and forth, cleaning buckets, wiping his face. He's sweating really bad. He's like contorting in ways that I'm like, I don't want him to have a heart attack or break something, because I've contorted to where it feels like your arms will snap off and your neck will. Right. But he started. I grab. This is show and tell day. I'm sorry.
The tuning fork.
Tuning fork. So everybody should have one of these fucking things. These things work better than everything. I'm telling you right now, they work so good. This at 528
megahertz.
Right? If it's good, it's good. If it's not good, they lose their shit because they can't. You're keeping a frequency around them. Right. All around them.
Right. They have to match that.
So,
or rise above it.
Yeah.
They can't stay below it.
Okay. So all these different things. We had sage spray, but we were unprepared, ill-prepared in terms of the intensity that it was actually turning out to be. So I had the Paula energy, and he looks up at me and goes, and I was like, so I'm giving him the like, oh shit, I as me right now never saw it like coming out like that. I've seen it jump out and attack me, but not like this. Like this was hurting him, and it was fucked up, kind of crazy. And then it starts snarling as I got closer to him, and then he just starts speaking to me in the other language, and I went, and I got so offended that this thing spoke to me in demonic out of his mouth, and I grounded. We did like a grounding, so I felt the energy come in. It felt like source hit me in the head, and I was grounded. It went through my body. My hands went like this. They just separated. They did the Spock thing. I walked up to him like really quickly. I'm gonna just show it on Paula's face. Can I? So then I went like this, and then I started speaking light language. And you know how I knew it was light language? Because it fucking looked like light coming out of my face, and it looked like little hieroglyphics flying out of my mouth, and it looked like a bowl was filling into my hands, into his face. And
you have to feel the energy coming off your fingers.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it sent it. It was in front of me speaking in demonic, and in my head, I was like, "You're not going to dare speak to me in your language. I'm the creator. You address me in divine language, or you don't get to speak at all, motherfucker." Right? And that it went from coming out of his face, contorting his face so bad that I didn't even know how someone can move their face like that. Eyes were looking, and then focused. And then when you look, I was trying to get him to look me directly in the eyes. I was like, Shiva taught me this one. I was going to grab him and do the burn him out. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get him.
This just day one.
He kept
day one
doing that shit. So I'm like, it sucked back in, boom, right into like on here on him. Okay, so he comes out of it a little bit later. No bueno. It's still there, but he feels good. But he's like, yo, it's still there. So I'm like, yo, you need to make the choice to get rid of this fucking thing. This is like embedded in you, right? We're gonna need. And he's like, I want it out. So I'm like, all right. He made the choice. I'm going to work. I'm going home though. First, I'm going to sleep. Came home. Next day, we come with the game plan, Paula and I.
Oh, well, Frank tells Paula what happens first.
So,
and I'm horrified.
All right.
And excited at the same time.
So now Paula's seen me at my worst.
Right.
Okay.
So I get the rock salt.
We get everything. I get the circle mat.
We get the
mandala and
blanket.
We had sage sprays. We had everything.
Crystal. We
took every wand, crystal, everything.
Yes. And it's
anything
funny
worthy
because the wands were still on the trunk from the night before, and when you woke up, you were like, "You're not even going to believe it." And
you ready for round two?
Hit me, and then he tells me, and as he's telling me, I is working with me and telling me this thing has been inside of him for at least 44, 45 years. And the point of origin was probably around 4 or 5 years old. So
that's so crazy.
Now I am getting a better understanding of what the situation is. So this is not something that he picked up along the way. This is something that's been eating off of him for a very long. Oh, I have to put the headphones on.
Not yet, but as soon as we bring Tiffany on.
Okay, so we're still now. This is the morning of day 2. So, hey, oh, do I have to?
Can you hear us?
I can. Question is, can you hear me? Check one. Check one.
Please hold for the next available. Now try that. Can we hear you?
I don't know. Can you?
No, we can't hear her.
Ooh, hold on.
We're trying to work it
Check
out.
1 2. Give me a check.
Check,
No.
check.
There
Oh,
we go.
there she goes.
Where are
Okay.
you?
Yay.
Yeah.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
So now we're gonna just keep leading the story in, but I got you in now, and I'm gonna bring you on in a. Yeah, look at that. Look at
Oh, that's
this
beautiful.
shit.
Look at
All right.
this.
So we go in ready, and then as soon as
Yeah,
I
we go
get
in
there,
ready.
Joe says to me, well, Della says it first. Now Della's already ready on the ready to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Totally.
we should try this and we should do that. I'm like, good idea. We're gonna do this. So he goes, I think we should call someone. Can you tell like I go, you want me to tell the Fearless family
Yeah.
to come in and do this? You got to give me permission.
Right.
You got to give everyone permission. So he's like, oh, you got permission. You got permission. Everyone's got permission. Then we read
Contract revocation.
contract revocations. Right. And what does it say? No weapon used against me shall prosper. So the contract revocations that we did were
I think that helped the situation, though.
everything helped for sure. It was the shaman's death and the business revocation of business interference, and we just removed terms and conditions of like the first part of it's like as if you were a company of a website,
Right.
and the whole second portion is you are the company,
Right.
and it was perfect for what we had to do. So we read them. I went live. I introduced everyone to Joe and Della. I said, take a quick snapshot of this mentally, because this is going to be something we need you for. I need everyone that's ever wanted to be part of this or something. I can't put him on video when this is happening. That's just disrespectful. However, because then I'm just like broadcasting it kind of to the world, and I don't want to do that to someone. If you're not, the Fearless family understands this. You send the energy, you're in the room. So now
you're in the room. You send yourself to the room.
Now, Paul is no joke with this. We start the process. We get him in the circle. We set crystals around. Paula brings chunks of salt, Himalayan pink sea salt. We were putting it all over the place around him. We had the wands. Everyone had their position. We surrounded him. Right? We got him under. I took mushrooms. Della's like, I'm eating mushrooms. I'm not going under that way. I'm going under this way. This is why I'm loving mushrooms, man. They do something a little. They work in coordination with the whole thing. You need both. It's just the best. So we start and it immediately kicks off, right? Paul, we get around him and he starts fucking losing it again.
Yeah.
Immediately, Paul is like,
okay.
oh shit, like
Okay.
you're not kidding, like this is, it's like at this level.
I didn't think you were kidding.
No, but it's the seriousness of
You
it.
know,
When-
I didn't think you were kidding, but it's like, oh, okay, this is what we're dealing with. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go get my big girl pants. Like,
Yeah, that's
now you hang on.
yeah, it wasn't, but it's
Yeah.
so shocking
Now you hang on.
because when was the last time you saw this?
A couple of years ago.
No doubt. And then where do we always see it? We just watched it on Constantine, so
We
it's
see it everywhere.
in all of those movies.
Right.
Now, all right,
But
so
we've done this, but
No,
it's
I know.
always different.
it's always different.
but it's the same, but it's different.
So this was kind of giving him a problem last time when we
Right.
first were here,
And
it
he
was
did get something up. And I think having, and Tiffany, I want you to listen to this because this is what I think. I think when he was here the first time and he drank, because I was telling Della, I don't think he's going to be able to get it up this time. I think this is going to take 2 visits or he's going to have to get the rest of it up by himself.
But we were trying not to be like, well, you need more ayahuasca.
The first time he drank.
We were just being like, it's loosened up.
I think this thing sacrificed a piece of itself last time
To hang on.
and hoped it would be enough to appease him, and it sacrificed a piece of itself because it knew it wasn't leaving. I think that's
It's
what
hot.
happened. That's what I think happened the last time. And shame on you. Shame on me. You're not going to get me this time. Shame on
Right.
me.
Ah, there it is.
So that's what I think happened the last time. Anyway, we're here now. So it's day 2. Shit is going down. We're dealing with it. We're getting it angry.
So
we're getting it up.
I'm feeling people entering the room now. I'm going to tell you this. Joe says to me, "Hey, man." I'm like, "You all right?" Right? Because he's coming in and out of these like really crazy moments that it's very difficult to describe what they were. And he goes, "It's like they're all here. Everyone's here." And I'm like, "Ah." So I go, "All right, first of all, I got to do any shout outs tonight. Kevin, I know you're out there. Sons of the sun." I said, "Hey, Kevin." And there was this moment like, who the fuck is Kevin? Right. And I go, "Hey, he's my producer." But we're all here. None of that matters right now. So, wait. So it felt like the call went out. We made a video, come on in, and it felt like everyone piled in and then started tag teaming him.
Well, what I did that morning, I'm sorry, Tiffany, we're just kind of
We're gonna
trying
this
to get
is
there.
right, goes right into you.
So
You're good. Keep going. You're good.
Thank you. So that morning I had texted Ellen because Ellen and Frank and I have a very unique connection. And Ellen and Frank specifically, and now Della and Frank have this very unique but different connection. So I had asked Ellen to protect and shield Frank. Specifically, I wanted her to only focus on Frank because I knew between me and Della and the Fearless group, we had Joe. But I needed Ellen to protect Frank because I could only do so much at the time. And she did exactly that. And then everyone kicked in.
He was so, the Joe being was so happy this was happening, but distraught that it was happening.
Right.
Like, because it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
But the knowledge that he was surrounded by us, and then every time he said something, I was right in front of him. So he was like, every time I looked, you were right there.
Right.
But now we had him in the circle this time, and Della grabbed the bucket and put it in his face, and he was going and going and going.
She was a beast.
Yeah.
She was
shamaning
warrior,
like me,
princess.
but for her man,
she was a beast.
For her man's soul.
She was fighting for his soul.
I mean, she would have, I'm gonna be honest, Della and Joe, now specifically Joe, but Della would do that for any of us.
Oh, I know that, but she specifically was fighting for him.
I know. And this was that choice where Frank can't just knock a demon out of you or remove the parasite. Now you got Frank and Paula, and you got Della. And I kept thinking to myself with Aya, like, Della's here for the experience too. This became like demon removal from entity removal from Joe the whole time. But this other fucking thing happened. Like, I'm too dumb to see Aya's plan. Like, I can't. No, Paula, you came in. I saw you do something that was so cool. And I think Della and I both were like, oh, shit. So it was the feminine doing all the work. And it was like, I was like a grounding rod. Right. And then all the women were there doing their work. So whatever I was doing, I was grounding that energy, allowing you guys to just smash the shit out of him. But you tried a whole bunch of stuff. You tried hands. We tried pushing it up from the back. Della and I tried this.
We did. We got it up to his
We got
stomach.
it from the midsection, so it's in your lowest chakra, probably in your fucking feet chakras as well, up to one point. So the being who is stretched into you, the red dye in the water, is now only at the top of the cup.
It's coming up.
This much. We got it. But it's not enough. So Paula, I don't know if you knew, but Joe is trying to explain this to you. They were cursing at you.
I know.
And telling him to tell her to go fucking kill yourself. You fucking, like, because he was like, I'm so sorry. I
I'm
didn't
so
say
so-
any.
he
And we're like,
kept
you didn't say
saying it, you didn't
anything.
say
He's like,
anything.
they don't like you
They don't like me.
at all.
Yeah.
And then it was they don't like you. They don't like you. Now, this is a non-believer turning into a full believer. So, all right, Joe would correct me. He was at 75% belief, and now he's at 100. So Paula walks away and comes back with a bowl of water. And she had salt in the water. And she started going, just junking it on him, right? And then she's like, yeah, how you like that? And it fucking lost its mind. It burns. It burns. Yo, he screamed so loud, I thought we were all going to jail. I was like,
Tell them about
wait,
that.
no,
too.
he fucking, all right. He put his hands up. And I was like, oh, we're going away. We're in a 3-family home.
Just it doesn't matter
And
where.
it's echoing. So then I get this. He does it again for the second time. And then he just kind of collapses into the circle again. And then I kept getting the feeling cops are coming. But then I was like, this feels weird.
Right.
So I go to the front door. There's nobody. Right. So I go, cops coming. Get the fuck. This is the Bronx, bro. What the fuck? So I run back over to Joe because I try to do it quietly while the girls are working. And I'm like, this thing's trying to confuse me. So then they go, I hear in my head, what are you fucking kidding me? The cops are on their way, bro. She's on the phone upstairs with them right now. And I went, what? And then I seen the lady's face that owned the place floating right above my head. And she goes,
no, I'm not.
No, we didn't. No, I'm not on the phone. Nope. She looked down at me and she goes, get back to work. And I went, there's a Jamaican lady that owns this place. And she's got our back.
I think she knew. Well, she didn't know she knew, but I think she knew. And she facilitated the place that they needed to have this experience.
So holy shit.
So the universe was in on it.
So this is like a pump up, right? So we're getting our energy. Paul is, and then he's holding the salt and it's like, it burns, it burns, it burns. So we go through this whole experience. Now, is there anything that you would like to tell from that part? He threw up. He shook it, man. I was like, ooh, it's going to be hard to.
He purged so much. He lost 10 pounds from the time he came to the time he left. He lost 10 pounds. And most of it was purge. He purged horribly. We were getting it upset. We were asking Joe, let's go to the casino.
Yeah, we're going to go here. And he was like, yeah, no.
Yeah. And let's have drinks.
Paula, on fire. So the women were lighting it up. So I told them, we took a moment. You went home.
Yeah.
After it was over.
Yeah, because I have the cat. So I can't stay. I could only stay for one session because now I have 95 cats I have to feed here. So he's out of it now. He's getting prepared to drink the second time.
We were going to do that and he was banged out. So he's like, I'm just going to do the mushrooms tonight.
Right.
So then I'm like, I'm going to do the mushrooms with you. But I was sitting in the chair with Della. We were looking at each other just like we are right now. We were like coming through with the war plan. And then I looked over. We both looked at Joe.
Right. So
and
now
he's
I'm
like,
home.
It's still in me, sitting on the couch, got his feet up. He's like, I don't know. So I'm like, I'm getting this vision that you, Della, will be in this seat soon, my seat.
Oh, I totally see it.
Joe's going to be sitting where you're sitting, and there's going to be someone on the couch that has something, and then you'll be doing, and you'll be helping. And then I kind of looked forward and saw me like there were other chairs by the bar, like, so it looked like they kept going like up. So I was
like
trying,
steps,
So like we were all one step,
yeah,
and we were all going together though. Like take my hand, and you're on the step below me, and someone's below you, and we're all just holding hands, and we're all just taking steps together. And if I'm a little high that day on that step, I say, this is what's on the step.
Right.
And some days I'm weak and shitty, and you were up on the top step, and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, I left my wand there. Joe asked if I would leave it, and I did. And I remember touching his stomach with it, and he jumped.
So it was sitting.
Yeah, it was sitting right there.
So his stomach.
Yeah, and every time I touched him with my hand, he would jump out of his skin.
this was like bad. So now he would heat up in spots when I was working with him. I had to hold his head, like the back of his
so he
head.
didn't bang his head. Yeah.
The thing kept trying to, and I was just
Right.
catching his head, catching him, right? And it would, when my hand would hit his head, all the hot would jump to a different part of his head, almost like that was the being trying to heat him up. And my hand would touch him, and right out of my palm would cool him off or something, and it would jump, and then there's someone else right there, and it was moving around, heating up spots, because that's how you catch it. It's like normal.
Yep.
Gotcha. And
Right
then your
there.
face will turn bright red. Your throat, it's in my throat. I can't talk. That was another thing. It was in his throat a lot, keeping him from speaking his piece. He had speech issues, as if the thought wasn't coming through. All right. Well, so now Tiffany had
So now
sent
here
in.
we are. Now here we are. I'm home. My wand is there. Frank is there. Dell is there.
It's 11:30, and then he just sat down and ate mushrooms. I watched him, and I said, Tiffany hit me at 7 something.
Right. And it's funny because Tiffany, that's when I left, between 7 and 8. So it was almost like I'm clocking out.
She stepped one stepped in when the other.
Yeah.
So
We were working in shifts that day.
I guess so.
all right. Well, let me introduce Tiffany.
Well, hello. I love you. You're
Hi.
beautiful.
So
I love you too.
This is Shaman Tiffany. She's awesome. She's works with Reiki energy. Am I correct with saying that?
You know, I kind of quit calling it that because what I do is so far beyond that now. I just call it energetic healing. But if the term works, go for it.
Okay, cool. So we had pulled that day all the tricks of the trade, including Paula had Joe drinking a couple of gulps of salt water. There's a lot of salt water involved. It works. So we just felt it was breaking everything up. Now, Tiffany reached out and said, if you need me, hit me up. So I hit her up. And I said, I'm going to hit her up. He's hit her up. Okay. So I said, this is serious, Joe. I got it. I get it. I'm like, no. So nobody's under anything right at this moment.
Right.
We're just starting a process off.
Right.
And I put Tiffany on the phone, and I introduce her to everyone, and we start surrounding Joe on the couch. And I said, Tiffany, this is going to get crazy. It's really nuts. And soon as it started, I don't know what she did on the phone, because I looked over at Joe because he wigged out. I just want to make sure he doesn't flail his arm and try to hit somebody or hurt someone, because we had a lot of the stones around. Like, he could have just picked something up and thrown it. I don't like when people have anything sharp, but he was good. Anyways, he looked at her and then couldn't look, and it just. No. I went, are you fucking kidding me? It was just as serious
as if she were in the room.
As when it was the earliest time, and then when it was speaking demonic originally. I was like, it jumped right out. And then we all started working. It was like we surrounded him. And then now I'm going to bring it over to Tiffany. Tiffany, I want you to just tell it from your perspective.
Right. So, I mean, yes, I had offered to lend a hand because as soon as you showed Joe on camera with your live, I mean, I had been at work that day, so I didn't see it. But I knew as soon as I saw him, I was like, I can help him. I know I can help him. I could probably clear a chunk of it, if not all of it, but at least a good chunk. So when you hit me up, and of course, you know, I get on the call, I had asked all the preliminary questions, salt, soul contracts, like, what are you using? What have you used? You know, just kind of going through it. So I know what I'm walking into. And then as soon as I get on the call, and of course, yes, you know, introduced to Joe and Della, who are lovely, by the way. I love you both. Thank you so much. And shout out to all the FearLess family at that. So I get on the call and I can see what's going down. You can see that Joe is visibly, I mean, he's fatigued. He looked like he had gone 10 rounds as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest and lost. I mean, that man was whooped. You could tell. He was so tired. Physically, spiritually. I mean, the man was exhausted. So as soon as we get started, and of course, you know, I do my thing and I put my hands up, And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to flee. And as soon as I started saying that, he turned red, I mean, all over, and started purging, like just, I mean, it was coming out. And as soon as I felt it, I grabbed a hold of it. And I'm pulling like this, and the entire time the mantra's going. But I told Frank, I said, Frank, you need to say this. You need to repeat this like it's a mantra. And he just kind of, because we know Frank is a source man. It's not, you know,
I got to
a
say,
religion thing, but it's a belief system.
You were
thing.
doing it, and you were just in the pocket. And I know another high priestess, shaman. I
used to say
respect.
the same thing, and Frank used to cringe, but it worked.
I was in science mode, and I used everything at my fucking disposal, including Om Nah Shivas for a fucking month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be like this, but I do. And then all I heard was her say, when he fucking wigged out, I heard her say, "Oh my God." And then she started repeating in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to flee. Right. And then Della was like, I'm just saying it now. I had my crystal skull hypercharged, rubbing it on Joe's back. Right. And then I'm looking at the camera and watching you do this thing.
And you're pulling
and
chunks of it out.
Joe's losing his shit. I go, oh my gosh. And then I just was like, no, I have to do this, or I'm not science, Frank Castle, fearless. It just doesn't work. So I'm in. And I started chanting it, and Tiffany pulled this thing.
I did. I had it here, and I mean, I was pulling that thing. There was no way it was getting away. I had rubbed my hands with Epsom salt before I even started, so I had a barrier. I had my own crisis shield up. Like when Frank told me they were going to hit me up, they were going to, call me in. So I went outside, nonchalantly smoked a cigarette, said some prayers, grounded myself, set my intention. So I'm pulling it out, got it by one hand. Joe's losing everything that's inside his stomach, and I mean, it was all coming out. And then I grabbed it.
It was working better than the Aya and the mushrooms combined. In my eyes, what you were doing was the solution, even though everything was part of the solution. No, she grabbed it and fucking pulled, and it went, and I was like, oh shit.
Right. About that time, and I have my one hand here, I've got the other hand here, so y'all can see. I mean, I had it by both fucking hands. I had saged. I mean, I had played, the same stuff that I play when I'm doing my stuff live, the 528 hertz. My cat, claws and all, is wrapped like this around my foot.
Sure, she was
because he was he was grounding me, making sure I was staying focused on and protected in and of myself in the moment, and not just continue to. I had a shield up from my solar plexus. I mean, the solar plexus is the seat of your power. So I've got this fucking thing, and the next thing I know, it's gone. My nephew was sitting on the couch behind me, and he said once he felt it come into he could feel the presence of it. I mean, he was just standing there, just not even paying attention to anything I was doing, but he felt it, and he immediately shielded up. I mean, and it evaporated into here like thin air. Like
I saw a yellow eye, and it looked like a snake, a snake-like thing. I don't even know. When you pulled it, it like uncoiled right in front of my face. And I was not in disbelief. What fucked me up was the Jesus thing. I'm like, why? I'm still there. Look,
why did that work and nothing else?
It worked though.
Right.
No, go. I got nothing.
Here's my perspective on that. I looked at the situation, and even in hindsight, I still see it this way, because as what we are, more specifically shamans, okay? If each of us specializes in something, that means we're holding a different key. Right. Joe was a locked door that had a lot of different keys, okay? It took me right in the center, and that's what it was. It's like the one chemical that made the compound, that created the reaction. Like,
almost like we were making Sunday sauce, and then you showed up and put the
cherry on top.
Yeah, That's what it felt like. I was like, holy shit.
It did. And here's
This
what
is perfect, working perfect.
from what I understand, that thing, I mean, yeah, when I called it ectoplasm, I mean, when you have an eye experience and you puke all the black shit up. But some of these spirits, and especially demonic ones, are so like they're just pure evil. They're pure hatred,
Like
they're pure
hate.
fear, they're pure anger, and it leaves behind a residue. And that shit had just been circulating through his entirety, his whole life. Okay. The first Aya experience, the one or two, whatever, that y'all had done before, we know that Divine Mother is nothing but pure and unconditional love. We know that. We also know that ayahuasca runs like a program, if you will, through your entirety. You can take a dose and months later, it's still running. It's still working. It's still going through your system. So he'd already had, between that and the stuff that, had happened a couple days before, already was breaking that shit down.
Sure.
Now, Paula mentioned that thing had already lost a chunk of itself that first time in that go round. I can't comment on that. I wouldn't. I don't doubt that that's true, though.
He smoked DMT, and he gave out that gutter scream,
that guttural,
that and this shit came up, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" But my singer from my music group, she had him, and she was every 15 minutes she threw up one for 4 hours, and then they were in the bucket screaming. So when I tell that story, people laugh. Oh yeah, demon screaming in the bucket. Joe made Della take the bucket away after he spit some shit up. He was like, "Yo, get that away from me." It was screaming at him, telling him like, what the fuck? But you were saying ectoplasm. That was great because it wasn't black goo. He already went through the black goo stuff.
It was a great explanation because it was coming out of him. It probably still is coming out of him.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was but just like Ghostbusters, that slimy shit.
No charge. And it's been living inside of him for 45 years. So I mean, it's a lot.
It had wrapped itself around the entirety of his free will and was snuffing it out just like that candle. I mean, it was barely a flicker.
Now,
so after...
Yeah, tell him. I know exactly what
after we're done. Yeah. After we're done. Okay. Me and Frank are sitting there rapping about it because he's like in total shock. He's like, what in the fuck just happened? Like, how the hell did that work? Tiff, I'm not even a Christian. Like, what in the world? And I'm just like, yo, I mean, from my standpoint, I'll roll up on the scene, see it for what it is. And in my mind, I'm like, that was the go-to to me. I mean, that's why I said as soon as he came on and y'all said that that's what was going on, I was like, I got this. And I know, and that's funny too, because afterward I was thinking about like roll up on that shit like some Constantine or some shit. But in any case,
but that's what it's
but we just showed the clip of Constantine.
I saw
where he flips the keys and he was figuring out what language to use or whatever. That was me the whole time. And then you hit me up. And then it was like flipping the next key.
Right. And that's
exactly.
That's exactly what he needed.
Because he said yes. And I realized, 3 shaman again.
Right.
Once again, 1 male grounding,
2 females.
2 females. Yeah. And I know the Fearless family did not leave me because I said I'd get back to people, but I couldn't.
No, it's funny though, because he said
we were doing this.
He said he felt my presence in the room.
He saw you.
And now I was here sleeping, but Baby Bear. Now, Baby Bear, we think on the other side, I think he looks like a lichen. He looks like a werewolf on the other side. He was sleeping literally like up against my neck and my chest. And I think that was him protecting me because maybe I was doing work on the other side.
It's like everyone heard the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, everyone. Her cat, Tiffany's cat too.
No, I totally agree.
But
I think that that's what was happening to me because Reggie was with me.
All right.
Too.
So Lexi, I didn't want to say nothing, but Lexi too. Lexi, we went through this for days.
Right. For a couple of days. And then she had to push it out on her own.
And she had help
when she got home. And she had help.
It was like the key is we just surround them with our talents and seem to know what to do.
Right.
Like bring in all the doctors, But
We
let's
were working in tandem and taking different shifts.
yes, that's
Well, now we
sure.
know. Well, now we
Yeah.
know.
No, but
when this is happening, we call Tiffany if there's a like if there's a problem. We get the heavy hitter in.
no, but
That's
if
what's gonna
something
happen.
takes what I watched,
It
Paula,
took all of us. We all had a part in it. It's like we were each a specific cog in a
Oh,
series of events.
So
It's
now
not to say, oh, this shit's happening, call Frank. Oh, this shit's happening, call, whoever.
yeah, I felt like I
We have
couldn't
to
just
assemble like that again because it's not just me, not just you, not just Paula, not just, you see what I'm saying?
No, but it was wonderful your explanation of it after when you were saying that you could just see basically a pinhole of light before this started.
Okay.
So
And
can you just go
yes,
into that?
yes,
Yes.
ma'am. And I was about to. So yeah, when I had first got on the call, and I've said this in my videos, being empaths, we tend to absorb other people's energy like we're just little sponges. I had a girl come into my vape shop. She'd been drinking at the lake. By the time she left, my boss called and I'm giggling on the phone like a little girl, and I was like, oh shit, I got to get that out of me. I hadn't even been drinking, right? So when I come on the call, okay, and I feel right here, just at the top of my stomach, I thought I was going to puke. I was like, oh shit, no little contender, absolutely not. Do not get back to where that was not my energy. And immediately my solar plexus starts shielding up and pushing it back out. And it was like, I can't do this. I won't be able to do this if I'm leaned over, retching my guts out too. We can't have this. So, and that's all it took. And that is what signaled the whole mantra of, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to flee. So when I had initially, and I'm like I said, rapping about it with Frank, kind of doing the follow-up, out of the corner of like the peripheral of the camera lens, I see Joe. He's on the couch and he's just like, oh my God. And this man has literally been through hell and back. And I was like, Frank, look. And I pointed off camera and I was like, when I first got on the call, I couldn't see anything coming out of him. It was just darkness when I looked at him, in my mind's eye. But when he was sitting back and I see light starting to emanate from his core, and I knew he's going to be fine. I said, Frank, he's going to be fine. We got that thing out.
I'm so
if not completely.
So
I said, he's going to be fine. I said, and I knew y'all were going to do another Aya ceremony the next night. That was going to get the rest of whatever residual.
Everything
out of
you
him.
said, Tiffany, 100%, and everything you said, 100%, and everything. And I'm speaking for Della now until eventually we get her on the show with Joe and stuff. We just all talk because they already have the shaman work in them. This thing was just holding him back. So he didn't come to me a victim.
No, he came.
He already sees like I do.
Yeah.
Like he can see it. And he was like, I don't know what the fuck. However, this is after working with you and building up, all this other shit's happening, but I got to get this thing out or it's not going to work.
Right.
And, we're at that choice where you got to choose to go right into the light or not. We'll call it what you want. Choose good over evil, whatever. And you make the choice. We bring the light, right? No man left behind. Della and I were like in this mode of, I'm going to show you everything I know by you just following me. If you need the explanation. Now, Della saw me and I saw her. So she used to the same exact fucking thing. And Joe had brought this up. Hey, how do you know we haven't done this before in another lifetime in the same exact way, some way or another? And then while he was talking, because we had brought it up, and I was like, we probably have done this because we're running simulations in different universes over and over and over and over and over to see which one's the optimum timeline, walking through timelines to see what's what. So guaranteed we've all in like back in Egypt have been doing the ceremony, and then something had to be done during that ceremony. And it reminded everyone, hey, maybe we did this before. Well, she saw me in the white, like a thinner, taller me. And with the gold belt or whatever, with the sandals, the darker skin, doing the exact same thing in the temple, she said. And then so she gave me a crystal skull that was calling my name. There, she tells the story. It's intense. But the skull loves me. I put it in the sun. All of a sudden, I'm like super charged up. I was shown I was one of the Crystal Skull guys in the original, and the way we would meet each other through the deception and the new lives and the whatever, we would we all had one. So the shamans would just put it down, your crystal skull, bong, it's me. Oh, look, that is Frank. Okay, good. So she handed this to me like this, and I saw her doing it in the white.
Mm-hmm.
It was her. We were all just like maybe taller and thinner. I don't even know. And then I was like, holy shit, it's her.
Wow.
That's how you tell it's one of us. Like, they bring the truth to the table. The original truth is by your skull, I'll know who you are and I'll be able to trust you. And I was like, holy fuck. And it all hit me at once. And then she was studying it and becoming it. And then she was watching you, and she was amazed at what you were doing, while being amazed that she was able to do what she was doing while watching me. And then Tiffany came in. I swear to God, Space Jesus, I swear it was like watching when the Yankees call out in the top of the eighth. They're like, yo, get Rivera out here right now, and let's end this game. Let's strike these motherfuckers out. And there was this great push, and in 30 minutes, it was done. And I'm like, he was spent, first of all.
Dude,
he lost 10 pounds.
As soon as that was over, like, I could see him, and I still stayed disconnected from his energy, but I could sense, like, I said, Frank, his head is swimming. You got to get him to lay down before he
laid back. He got chill. He
was eating pizza. Like,
when it was
like
over,
nothing.
you were like, I don't know if we got it. So I was waiting for him to talk about it. And he's like, well, I don't know, whatever. Then Aya tells him, half cup tomorrow, we clean you out. I'll clean you out top to bottom. So when I saw them the next day, he was like,
I was there,
happy, like, hey, it was like it was a different person. There was nothing there, I can't explain it. The wave of shittiness was gone. The frequency that we roll that allows that thing to attach was gone.
Up the last of the
So we put him under
badness,
and he basically purged, and then it was quiet. There was no contorting. There was no none of that shit. It was just the beautiful comfort of being allowed to have love shine in. I can't show you love if I'm blocking it out.
Within,
He didn't know. See, he'll explain this. He said to me, and I tried to explain it to him, but I guess I didn't know if I did a good enough job. Like, he figured it out. He was like, Frank, how do you go within? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, there's outside and then there's inside. I go, no, I know. He goes, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, you just close your eyes and go. But maybe someone's never really done that the right way. Like, everything is in scale to everyone. So who knows who's doing what? And I'm not in your head, and I can't tell you if there's been a blockage there forever. Maybe your imagination's been stunted as well. And now that it's free, you'll start having these magical thoughts of creation and ability to do these amazing things you never thought you could do. Or maybe didn't want to be bothered with it. Fuck this and fuck that. Demons do that shit. Attachments.
Some of the information that I found out, because after I set my intention and prayed, I got a message, name your price. Name your price. And I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just like, I got work to do. We'll talk about this later. Universe, put the universe on hold. So I do this, and afterwards I'm laying in bed and I'm like, God already knows. Universe already knows. I don't have to keep impressing it on them. They know what's in here, and that they want to hear it from me. So the first thing I thought is, well, can I have my wand now? And I kind of hear what almost feels like laughter in the background. And they're like, really, Tiff? That's all you want is a wand? And I was like, well, I mean, then there's also like the pink Volkswagen convertible. That was my dream car. And all these other things, get my energetic business going, help me support these kids that God has blessed me with, all these things. And, my DM to come and all of us, be a family together and take care of each other like we're, meant to. And, just all these things, a beautiful imagery in my head. And they're like, done. And then I was like, cool, thanks. And then I find out some information from Della later, which I'll let her tell it. And after what she said, that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. Why I was told to name my price. I'm still wrapping my head around the enormity of this, guys. Still wrapping my head around the enormity, because we know I've never taken a full Aya trip. I've never done mushrooms. I barely learned how to make Aya a couple months ago. I mean, what the fuck? All of this, and all I did was roll up on the scene and tell it, God says you're done. Get the fuck out, And so just, like I said, through all of this, and I still, even when I did my live video the day after, or the couple days after, because I was hanging back, waiting to hear from Frank to just, make sure everything was on the cool. The day after, I've said this before, Mars being in retrograde is awesome because, man, I felt some peace. And it was so anchored in. And I was just like, I had not felt that level of peace, I don't know, ever. And it felt even collectively. And I was just like, man, this is amazing. So, yeah, I mean, it was just...
All right. The enormity of this is insane. It's a man fighting for his soul. And people make jokes about this. Hey, how'd it go, bro? I'm like, well, a dude overcame complete darkness and won back his soul. You got to want to do this. This is another thing we were talking about, right? Like, who the fuck does this? Right. And I'm like, me and Della are looking at each other. And I'm like, well, we do. And then,
yeah, soul purpose.
Right. But people don't want to put in that fucking work that he put in. I was worried he was going to have a heart attack. I was like, what if he dies because this thing squeezes nice and hard and he just can't handle it because of, I don't know, how you live your life, maybe too many cigarettes or whatever. Oh, no, this is why. He said it to you. I can't breathe. Give me the thing. And then you were like, you don't need it. And he went, I don't need it. That's when, and then I don't remember after that moment, because I gave it to him just so I was like, here, look, I know what it's like to not be able to breathe. Here, okay, you good? You good? I didn't see him use it the rest of the time he was here.
No.
So
because I told him the worst thing that's going to happen to you in this experience is that you're going to pass out. How many times have you been drunk and out in a bathroom stall and you passed out? It's going to be like that, but you're going to come around.
We love you too, Della. Thank you.
The craziest thing I'm going to tell you right now wasn't, all right, I just want to tell you what I loved about this. All right. I walked over to the presence when he was coming out of my friend, my brother, and it spoke to me demonically. And then I responded in light language, and I don't know how I did it, but I was tripping pretty hard. But what I saw, it was like the higher me and then source. And then it just came from source, this beam into my head through my higher guy, almost like they were just launching a giant white laser beam that was gigantic. And then it came out of my mouth as language and filtered into this bowl around his face because I was holding it there, and it just went into his fucking head. And he said to me, the only thing I remember is that when you spoke, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. It was the most calming thing. How did you do that? And I went, I don't know. It was light language. I've never done it like that before. And he's like, light language? I gave myself, I was in a relaxed state, and I don't get that relaxed, but something said to me, you disrespectful prick, this fucking thing is going to come into the room if I don't do something. Like, that part of me was like, activate. But then I'm so cool with that. I felt like, yeah, I got this. It's what I do. I'm being humble, but it's like, why am I doing it? Well, it's your job. You chose to do this life. So I'm secure in my manhood to do this. I got this. And then I just walked over and did it. And for me, that was like a massive step. Like, I was like, wow, this is weird, but in the best way. almost like no training wheels, no more training wheels.
Yeah. Y'all remember that video I did? And I know Paula even commented on it. What was it, like last summer, where I said I felt like it hit a glass ceiling and felt like I was ready to do this, but I felt like I'd been benched. And she said, she could relate, that she could hear the pain in my voice. I've come off the bench in a big way. I'm going to say that for sure. Like I said, that was the biggest thing I'd ever done. And I think a couple days later, like I was feeling some anxiety and I knew it wouldn't quite mine. I was like, that had to have been something residual from whenever I picked up off of Joe, like when I was felt like I was going to throw up, something like that. So I drank my Aya and it was gone. I mean, I drank Aya and boom, it was gone.
That's fantastic.
Oh man, Aya's wonderful. Me and Divine Mom have a solid relationship. I love Divine Mother. I love, the plant medicine. Even that night, I was partaking, so it was just like I said, just kind of, I'm still reflecting on it. Like I'm still seeing different things in retrospect. Like I'm still, like I said, that really was an opportunity for me to flex. And I relayed the story and people are like, and it didn't exhaust you, didn't expend your energy, nothing like that. And I was like, no, I went to bed and slept fucking great. I mean, I saged the apartment and all of us were like, like down for the count. I mean, it was amazing. And nothing residual in the apartment. The day I did Reiki whatever, just say Reiki, that's fine too. On my live video, I'd saged again that day. There's a couple different things that I learned about it too, about to, make sure I cleanse my energy, after I'm done. But otherwise, it was just another day, I went to work the next day and it was like, oh, cool, it's payday, So, I mean,
she's exactly like us. Exactly like us. We're like, okay, now what? Like now, what do we do now?
Now I gotta feed the cats and clean the shit out of the
exactly.
the dishes, take the trash out. Like these first world,
like that.
We're living normal human lives.
Yes,
like Clark Kent shit. We're the unassuming reporters wearing fedoras and glasses.
Yeah,
like what am I gonna do for dinner? Did I thaw the hamburger meat? I just exercised the demon. Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, they don't care. They want their food.
Can we watch a movie on Netflix now? I mean, like seriously, like
yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Another day at the office.
But
we clocked out and left it.
That's an interesting take because that's so intense of I don't know, a job duty. Right, to just be so chill with.
But that's when you're in the right zone.
It's we're not weirdos.
Because I walked outside and I was like, fuck yeah, I could do this for a living for sure. And found such joy in this. Like, it's like, again, because I know I'm fulfilling my soul purpose and I'm not hacking away at a fucking vape shop. Come on now.
Let me tell you something right now. And I want you to listen to my words carefully, Tiffany, because I love you. And I've loved you since the moment I saw you from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to tell you something. You have to put a price on your energetic healing and you need to start charging for sessions because you are no joke and it works. So whatever you feel
I've been the test subject.
Is fair, you need to charge per
many
session
times
because you need to start valuing your worth. And you need to start doing this on the side. We all have to do what we have to do to pay rent. Okay, that's one thing. But your gift, what you've been given, needs to be shared with people. It does not need to be given away for free. It needs to be shared.
Or
so
it won't be respected.
Whatever you decide to charge for your energetic healing session, that's between you and your client. However, this is what you should be doing, and you should not be giving it away for free.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that because there have been a couple times throughout the course of this year, like I said, I've kind of, kept a steady dialogue of video logging, vlog, whatever, digital diary, if you will, my healing journey as far as this year goes. And that is one thing, I kept getting prompted to go talk to, and I won't name names, but a certain young lady who has a lot of working knowledge as far as spiritual businesses go. And so finally, one day I contacted her and I said, well, this is what I was thinking about. And this is before all this. And I've, when childhood emotional neglect fucks you up
Mhm.
and you don't know your worth. And I told her, I've been trying to get this off the ground. Something told me to come see you. I kept talking myself out of it. I'm not going to do that again. I deserve better than that.
You do
I'm
deserve
here.
better than
I
that.
showed it for myself.
And your
So
family
I just,
deserves better than that.
yes, ma'am. Thank
Put
you.
it into
So
perspective.
yes, ma'am. And I did. And after I talked with her and I was like, yeah, I rebranded because at that point, not only had my masculine energy rebirth, my inner warrior come out of me like fucking rawr, fire. I mean, it was incredible the day it rebirthed. And I was like, holy shit. And my give a damn just busted that
Right.
day. Like I put my foot down. I've had enough of this struggle. I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of that. I've had enough of this bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on all of this. I want to do what I was put here to do and make my fucking money off of it. Like,
Right.
bitch, where's my money? And so I did. And I rebranded my business. I rebranded my Facebook page. It is Rising Phoenix Energetic Healing. To anybody that has had positive experiences from my healing, please, I'm I'm not going to beg, order, or urge, but I really do encourage. It would help me a great deal. Go put a review on my page and tell people.
Share that in the room
And
so
I
I can
have,
put the
Yeah,
links to
share
the
it in the
show.
fearless
Okay.
room so
No
we can put
problem.
it-
And then,
we'll put it
yeah, because
as a-
in the room, on what is it, YouTube, Firestorm is my moniker. The lady with the phoenix, that's me.
Mhm.
And I've tried to direct people's attention to that, and I don't know sometimes whether it just kind of gets lost in translation or whatever. That's fine, but I mean, I'm saying that's that's me. But yeah, definitely, I have started, posting live videos from there. I've told people, get your appointments booked. You definitely want this. You need this. Show up for yourself. If it's piquing your curiosity, you're wondering what I can do for you. Yes, I do the healing. I do spiritual advice. I energetic alchemy. There's so many different things, that I am able to do. I mean, like, that's why I say I almost don't even call it Reiki anymore, because at one point I fucked with tarot cards. I don't even do that anymore because I've leveled up, so
You've outgrown it. Yeah, I get it.
yeah. I mean, I can do it. I taught my daughter. She knows how to do it. Frank and I were talking about that the other day too. I mean, between me, her, my nephew's coming into his, and some of the shit he's starting to be able to do. And I was just like, again, with the enormity of it. And as we know, we're watching on the world stage and everything is ascending and all these mass awakenings. And we're going to have, shamans like surfacing out of like the fucking swamps. Like it's huge. I mean, there's going to be, oh, good grief. Oh, oops.
I kept seeing, and I keep seeing,
This is why you have to do this.
tribes of people, right? And then those people healing people.
Mm-hmm.
Not, all right. So, like, you come to me and it's like, well, Frank's got it. Frank can handle this. Frank's
Thank you, Dara.
kick the demon's ass. And it's not about how powerful am I to kick the demon's ass. It's ayahuasca. I'm holding the space. And if it gets out of hand, I'm bringing in shaman. I'm just bringing them in. I'm not
Right.
trying to play a game with you and go, oh, well, I got this, bro. I'm right away, Paula, right away, Tiff, right away, whoever's there, because it seems like the universe will present it. Ellen once said to me, remember we laughed at Ellen. She's like, I don't know what to do if anything happens to you. And then I went under with her.
Oh,
and
yes,
then I
she
had a
does.
crazy experience and she
Mhm.
just instantly knew what to do.
She kicked right into gear and she knew
And
what
she's
to do
like,
to
I
save
got
you.
this. And now
Yep. She
she's
actually
like, I can do
screamed,
this.
I got this.
So
Because
I'm
she
like,
knew. And, Tiffany, you have to come
So,
to some agreement with
I'm
yourself.
going to tell you what they said about
charge
Oh, yeah.
your own services. You
So-
do.
Yes, and I have I've definitely come into that for sure. And
Good.
I've discussed, I don't want to put my prices on the page. I mean, I kind of feel like that's in bad taste, but I mean, I tell people, you want to know what I can do for you, message me and we'll talk shop.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
And we'll
here's
talk.
here's even better. We have results. Okay. I was there.
for some reason,
I
my browser's
saw
freaking out. Thanks,
I,
retrograde.
I saw what happened. I saw what she did.
Oh yeah.
I have her up whenever I see her put her hands up like this. She goes up in the room and in the Fearless family group, I'll walk by
Oh,
and
me
have the TV
too.
off
Yes.
because the video just runs in the announcement section. So as soon as you click on the Fearless family, it'll be her talking, and it gets to the point where her hands go up. I was in here being a grumpy dick, just like at the beginning of the show one day, and I had that up. The reason why I put it up is because she must have just did it and I just missed it, and I'm looking at it and I'm walking by and boom, it hits me and I feel like I'm gonna throw up, and then I'm like dizzy, and then I'm like, oh, I feel so much better.
Energy is
And then I look up and it's like she's talking to me through the TV
Mhm.
because the TV's right here. It's a gigantic picture
Right.
of her.
Well,
And then
there you
she
go.
kind of does this wink as if, wait, did she
Yeah,
just
that was for you, dummy.
did she just literally?
Sparks.
Yep.
And then I keep hearing Paul, well, it's always now. It's always now. Of
It's
course.
always
So the wink
now.
was for you. You don't even
Now
know.
is
And then
the
the wink was
time.
for whoever needed the wink. And then
Time is now.
That's what
So
happens.
show up for yourself.
But that's what happens to me. We watch everything on the computer in the living room. So I never get to comment on anyone's stuff because I'm never on my phone. But I actually went on my phone when you posted those videos so I could comment as me and not as Frank. And I couldn't believe it. You were just kicking ass. And I know you felt it after because we felt it after. I mean,
no, we all felt the seriousness
but
of this
you
and the
felt
look on your
peace.
face and
Like
the look on your face.
I just felt exhaustion. Like
it was the lady at the end of Poltergeist when she goes,
oh yes,
this
house
is
is clear.
And then she's got her hair kind of messy, and you're like,
Yeah,
she's get her a burger and let her go get some sleep.
I needed a gummy.
Serena.
these CBD gummies. I took a gummy and I was like, Frank, I fed the cats. I
couldn't
out.
sleep right away.
I'm not cleaning
I was sleeping
anything.
in small chunks.
I'm not doing any. I took a gummy and I was out. And
there's like that celebration phase, like we did it. We kind of sit
like
in the humbleness.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like it was just too much.
But then we're doing dishes
on the
still.
couch decompressing after that. Yeah, and then it was like,
I'm still
shit, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work the next day.
Yeah, and
school.
it's so now it's Saturday and it's like it all ended Thursday and then it spilled into Friday.
Della was funny. She goes, Wednesday, this was going. She looked at it on the video and she goes, that feels like it was 100 years ago. Like, holy shit.
I know. Well, Monday
because the world's
feels
changing
like
that fast.
A year ago.
Yeah.
So, look,
it's
we
there.
tell
The
a
proof
story,
is in the pudding.
The proof
in
is
the
there.
People. I always say,
if we had a brochure,
you want to drink Aya with me?
We could put Joe's face on it.
And you're asking me about success stories or this or that, or how does it work? Go talk to all the people in the room that I worked with.
Yeah,
and then let them speak for me. So I'm not just filling your life with bullshit. Because this is the real deal. You're gonna put in 100% with me and more.
You don't even know,
or you're not gonna be here because there's no reason for it. And they get into it. I remember I said to Joe, "You want to go through the cycle again of deception? 250,000 years of deception and cycling it again." And he looked at me and was like,
"No."
And I'm not doing that again. I go, "Who the fuck wants to do that? Don't let it speak again." And he was like it was like these weird power up moments that you'll never forget. That activates the light in someone. And I'm
grateful.
That's what gets me crazy with this, like in a good way. That part, see, I get all excited. It's like you come to life, and we're bringing another light being out onto the field. I'd like to just say this to those out there that would try to be sneaky and sly and hide and think you're getting away with something. We're about to checkmate this whole planet, bitch.
Right.
We got another light being on the board. There's already too many for you.
Right. There's too many of them.
There's
now.
nowhere to run, nowhere to hide in the long run. The light has arrived because what I saw Joe go through. Holy shit. And that now is going to shine. Now there's there in a lot of ways, your family that you're talking about, the trifecta that you got going on at your house, where everyone's powers are coming on, they're activating, and you kind of we have Paula and I are activating and doing that. Della now and Joe are going to be activating, and there's so many more.
So this is how I tried to explain it to Della and Joe. I said, that they're. He said, "What would I pay you for a life-changing experience?" And I said, "How can I charge you for a life-changing experience? But we have to come to some."
I explained it
we
like
have to
this:
come to
you're
some
not
common
charging
ground.
for what you think you're charging for. It's the
Exactly.
time, the 30
Exactly. It's
hours,
the time it takes to make the
the
ire and the time
energy,
we have to spend
the
with you.
care,
Anyway.
this. So you have to
Right.
think in terms of that.
And you get good care. And I don't have to sell it because there is no brochure. But the way I was explaining it to Joe is, for me, it's more of an emotional connection that I make with people. So now I have Della and Joe forever in my arsenal of people who I can call upon when the shit goes down. I was telling them last night, if I needed something and there was an emergency, Lexi would be the first person to contact me and said, "I have my credit card or checkbook. What do you need?" Now, to me, this is a beautiful thing. She will never get a phone call like that. But the fact that I know I could count on her.
Everyone is just in that
Everyone's
deep.
in on this.
It goes
okay?
both ways.
So now I know everyone's in this fearless family.
I'm
because
closer
people
with you
did
guys
come to the call.
than I am with family members.
Exactly.
Like that I'm close with.
Exactly.
But this is closer.
So Joe and Della are now forever in this fearless family.
Yeah, the fearless family. Legit. Like we're like legit characters in this.
It is just growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's not strange and it's not weird and it's not a cult. It's like-minded people
that are helping. Everyone's just helping.
That want to help each other and that want to share their experiences. So why can't I share my experience?
It's not witches and hoodoo and voodoo and weirdo and drugs.
It's not a 9 to 5
I mean, you
job.
can call me that.
Every
I'm
one
just
of
going to
us
say
is
thank you. And
Yes,
laugh.
that's what I'm going to say too. Well, you know what? I went demon
Thanks.
hunting last week.
Means I'm doing something right.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
What can this little tiny girl do? Well, come over and drink the tea and let's
Well,
see
let me
what
knock
happens.
the demon out of you and I'll show you.
Exactly.
Come over here and I'll knock the hell out of you.
Yeah, but see, this is what this world needs.
Yes, but
right?
That's
because
hard.
We don't need the one that's like, that shit don't work. I don't want that guy. Right. I don't need you in my life. I want the one that's going, yo, man, what's going on? I had this experience and I think I'm hearing a call.
Right.
Give me him right now.
Right.
Bring him, because I put him on the field with us. I make another leader. We're just overwhelming. What I was seeing, Tiff, was in a situation where the black sheep of the family, or whatever that metaphor is, where it's a lot against one or two. Now it's activating light beings, and we're starting to overwhelm that other crowd.
10-10.
By standing there, it's a lot. So just our presence is enough to make the shit hit the fan in so many ways.
I've come to this. I am enough because I exist.
Yes. And I agree with that.
Enough said. I mean, that's how
powerful.
Into my self-worth I am the divine feminine. I was told, name my price, as in, what do you need? And the universe is like, let me bring it to you.
Right.
When Frank said that, another 250,000 year cycle was stopped. And I had a hand in that. That's not a small thing.
No,
that,
it's not.
From what I have heard, from what I've, that is being recognized.
Yes.
In a lot of
many beings. Yes.
And they're all just kind of going, they're not fucking around. The earth is ascending.
Yeah, we're done playing around. Right?
Yeah.
We're not goofballing through this. We are doing something that unleashes the true you. We're helping you become you again to a point where it's undeniable, where it overcomes all addictions and weird shit and quarks and what ifs and psychotropics that they put people on, and what you think to really what you know. We put it straight. We help you get that shit straight, and then you go out and do what you have to do, and that's having another creator that knows who he is out there, or she is, and that's so important to this world, because I can't do everything, and it's not my fucking job to do everything.
It's
as
not
well as
my
everyone here.
place to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders
Right.
Yes, but as a team,
by myself.
what does it take? A little involvement
We're
to
sharing the
raise
load.
one up,
For a short period of time. Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
you're in. Now we
Yeah.
have a functioning every creator. What are you,
Right.
nuts? One
Yeah.
of these is like a Jesus character
Right.
on the other end. So now we have how many?
It's
Many.
an arsenal. Yeah. It's
There's a whole group of
it's
them over
amazing.
here and over here and over here, and just
Yeah,
having
and
a
that one
group.
can, that one can exercise demons, and that one can do this, and that one can do that, and that one can do that. And my nephew, we started talking about, he knows some really in-depth stuff about timelines, shit that normal 16-year-olds don't know. He doesn't even know how he knows it. And I was like,
Right.
that's your sole purpose. So
Right.
when he comes full, he's a Padawan. When he becomes a Jedi, guess what he's going to be doing? I've got Doctor Strange living on my fucking couch.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
there you go.
saying.
You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Frank and I were talking about this too. My daughter's a shadow worker and also a high priestess, which, and this is one of the things I was explaining to him, when he asked how I knew what I was doing, how I knew what to do. And I said, because by definition, a high priestess is a person possessing ancient knowledge of the religions, the different religions worldwide. My daughter, is a shadow worker. And and she has more working knowledge of all the pagan, religions, voodoo, just all of that. Whereas mine is from the standpoint of light, God, and Jesus. And that's kind of my forte. She attacks it from the back end. And what do we do? And done. Boom.
See, that's what I mean. We're beginning to triangulate, coming from
We are all different
perspectives.
pieces of
Yeah.
puzzle,
Right.
making a big picture here. When it comes time, you think this happening plus extraterrestrial armada showing up is not a coincidence, Frank.
No, I'm listen. This is why I asked you the question when we were talking. I'm like, look, don't like dates and times, but the 21st of December is some portal date that some kind of messaging is going on. Now, I don't prescribe, just like I don't prescribe to Jesus, the dates and times, because they never come out right and we're always fucking waiting. Although portals open all the time and important days and times unlock things throughout the year, the solstice and all different things. I get it. But I saw some shit when I was with Ellen and Paula that I don't know. It's looking like they're right there and they're just going to like uncloak in front of us.
I think they are right there. I think they're right there. And
I swear they're watching
hundreds
us
and thousands of
do
them.
this, and they're like, "Yeah, I got this feeling."
It's like the Series V.
That
like there's
the
hundreds and
higher
thousands
characters that protect
Except
us.
fuck that bitch.
Exactly. Like
oh
they
my
kinda do,
God.
But that's what I think it is.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. They're, if that, I don't know. I know they have
They're
things
watching
to tell
us.
I know they have things to share with us. I know that they have things that they need to consult with us on. This earth
Absolutely.
has been trying it. They've been, I learned about Atlanteans, and the technology they have. And that nearly ended the fucking world. And then it fell into somebody else's hands and they nearly ended the fucking world. And how many times has this been happening? And now all of a sudden it's not. It's actually being reversed. And then, oh, by the way, the extraterrestrials are here. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I do believe, no, but I do believe that it's like, we had said this a couple of years ago that we're going to be getting most of our accurate information through the internet, not through news channels. That it's all the information is going to come through the internet, and that seems to be what's exactly happening now. Like
more and more, yes.
More and more
There's
now.
also
The people
things
are
being
becoming the power.
broadcasted and transmitted through light codes, like we know this. It's in, the plant medicine. It's in us. It's unlocking, in our DNA. I told my nephew the other night, did you know cats speak in rectangles? Because I was watching my cat just when I had the bathroom door closed. Okay, first world problems. We're exorcising demons, and my cat won't leave me alone long enough to pee. But I could see his speech pattern coming out of his mouth, and it looked like little rectangles.
Really? Oh, that's wild.
Like some Greek pattern or some
That's
shit. Not like
wild.
quite like hieroglyphics, but I was just like,
That's great.
yeah, it was
No,
interesting.
see,
So
I
I'm
love
just like,
this is it.
okay.
The veil is coming down, or not. It's the veil's coming down, but we're also activating and coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Seeing
like
that's
meeting halfway. If I don't know. For
Yeah,
lack of a better-
the veil is, I mean, the veil has been thinning for some time. The more of us become awakened, but the fact that it's almost, we know what happens at Halloween too. I mean, how thin the veil is even then.
Yeah.
That's just the spirit world. That's not even talking of like awakening to higher realms and dimensions.
Son of a bitch. I completely forgot about Halloween. I forgot we were in October, and I forgot.
Yeah,
we were
that's
into
why
that
when I
ritual
told you that
time.
the other
Yeah,
day, it's
that
been,
day.
I live next to an active funeral home. It's been party central around here lately.
Oh, that's great. And we have a show Saturday. So if we don't, if we're not able to go, oh no, that's 2 Saturdays. But yeah, if we're not able to go live, that's why.
It's next Saturday.
Yeah. So, all right. This is just something I want to express, and then I'm so happy that we all connected. That
I
we're
am
all
too.
out here
I am too,
together.
because I said, and it's funny because I never make a request when it comes to the show, and I was like, please, Frank, we have to have Tiffany on to tell her side of the story.
Well, because I'm like, I talk a lot of shit when it comes to this comic book, turning the page, who's in the book next or whatever. I'm not trying to put you on anyone out there like down saying you're not in the book. You are in the book, but when you come to the forefront of us here, the Fearless family, activating within the way we're doing it or whatnot, and who steps up to the forefront, then an issue immediately arrives during that week. I just speak about it, then it happens. And then I kept saying last week on the show and the week before that, you turned the comic page and you were all there. Every one of you were there. And what happened? We went into fucking, the call went out. And everyone
and you were
showed
all
up
there.
I turned the page and it was like, boom. And it was everyone participated. And you know what? It's just like Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader can fuck up a lot of people. His evil is so strong and he's so fucked up. He's AI with a lightsaber. But it takes Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, the robot, R2, the Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon. It takes Lando to step in.
Oh, she's got the cup. We can do it.
This is what I'm fucking talking about. It takes us to form the may the
this
sauce
is
be
my
with you.
yes,
May the sauce be with you.
That's hysterical.
Oh, I
we
have
can
her on
do
my
this.
purse. That was my gift to myself for winning the war on COVID. When
This
I had
is
it.
the
Oh, no
time
shit.
when we come alive
Running into
and
the
we
wrong
win, right? And we are Princess Leia and Han Solo and Chewbacca, right? We are the different characters. We defeat the AI.
I always
we do
wanted
get
to be
what
here
we
when
need.
I grew up.
We are abundance. You
We blew
are
up the Death Star.
amazing. Yeah, fuck the Death Star.
It's
You're
not a
out.
moon, it's a space station. We fucked that shit up.
So we can do this, and we got this, and it's going to happen. Just make sure you're grounded, okay, and don't be on the fence. Make your choice, right? You want the higher timeline, you got to say I want the higher timeline. You got to beg. You're the creator. You don't beg. You just say I'm gonna right now. I'm choosing the optimum timeline right now, right now, and do it and enjoy yourself on the ride, being the observer, and then when the call goes out, participate, right? If you're feeling you can do something about it,
then do it.
Your awareness is your responsibility.
If you can,
and with great power comes great
responsibility. Thanks, Aunt May.
Hells yeah. And we form like Voltron, just like Kevin. KG, bro. Sons of the Suns is the new project, and you guys are gonna love it. We got some cool songs. So Tiffany, thank you so much for sharing
Yes,
this.
thank you for sharing.
Thank
I
you
want
for having
you
me. That was
and I want
fun.
the people to share this with other people,
Of
because
course, yeah.
it's the validation for someone like me. I'm like, yo, this is validation across the board.
Oh yeah,
I had the whoa face and went into action.
yeah.
You did, Della did, and so did Tiffany. And I know it because I saw it. As the shaman, I always get to see the face that everyone makes during every situation. And Tiff came on, and let me ask you a question, just out of nowhere. When because if someone was to say to me, bro, I got a demon, right? It's getting bad and out of hand here, right? Is there like a chuckle before all right, let me see what's going on here? Because I remember it being more one way, and then it happened to me, and I'm like, that shit is totally serious.
Right. So let her answer. Yeah.
Oh no! As soon like I said, as soon as you know, when you were on your live video and posting, you know, through the bat signal, okay, and you had the camera on him, I knew as soon as I saw, I knew. Like, I don't fuck around and call bullshit on everything, okay, but I knew, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, no, he's right, and I can help this guy. I didn't, you know. I mean, I can wink and smirk it and like, yeah. No, I knew it was like, it's go time. It's go time. Um, we're not fucking around anymore.
No.
Like this
No.
is it. You know, I knew I was being called off the bench.
Well, you were.
You were
So no, I
amazing.
didn't.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you again.
so amazing.
For you know, I've talked about this before. For someone, you know, I don't hear the words "I love you" from other people very often. So the amount of warm fuzzies, accolades, congratulations, compliments, all these things, I'm bowled over, like in the best fucking way. I've been bawling my eyes out for days, and I'm not basing my worth off of it. I'm giving gratitude to it and adding it to what I've already found in myself.
That's
So
beautiful.
I'm purging a lot of shit out because it's like I needed that. I've needed that. I've needed
Good.
that. I've needed
Good.
that's
Well,
everything
we're
I've been
glad you
asking.
You
got it.
deserve
You
it,
know, the
and
recognition.
deserve it.
Thank you. And it has been, I mean, just like I said, overwhelming in the best way because so much, you know, when you suffer trauma and you hear these things and you know they're not true, and then, you know, you're just kind of doing your thing. You know, to me, it was just a matter of showing up, and I feel like, you know, I put that much effort into it and made cosmic difference,
You
and I'm
did.
being cosmically rewarded for it and recognized what we
And you
did in
will
higher
continue to
realms. And I'm
be.
it
just
Yes.
wasn't that small what you
No.
did.
exactly.
It
I
was
put,
it was
but that's what I'm saying. I put
immeasurable.
that
You
much
changed
effort
a
into it.
lifetime. Yeah.
250,000 years
250,000
worth,
years.
apparently. And I was like, when I saw that come across my screen, and I just kind of had to sit back and go, whoa, like
Mhm.
full on Bill and Ted moment. Whoa.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
no, seriously, I was just like, no wonder, you know, like I said, they told me to name my price, and I was like, here, all right, here's my wish list. Let's go. It's time.
Right.
Fill that
So yeah,
vortex.
definitely. I filled that vortex with some good shit. I mean,
Good. 'Cause you're gonna
traveling
get
and
everything you want.
concerts and vacations and honeymoons and big house for all the kids and a greenhouse with an outdoor bathtub. I mean,
Good.
I love it. A greenhouse.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's on
we're
everyone's
going.
list.
I
I
know.
mean, I'm not fucking around. It's go
No.
time. You know,
You
No.
know,
I
that's on everyone's list. The greenhouse.
Yep.
It keeps coming up with everyone.
love
We're
plants.
gonna
I'm
do
really
some
good
wonderful
with
shit.
So amazing.
and I've always wanted, you know, I've always wanted that, just a place outside to chill in the tub
And you're gonna get it.
in a
You're gonna get it
greenhouse so
all.
I can have vines and
Right.
privacy
Put it
and
in the vortex.
in my
You're gonna get
DM
it.
and, you know, good stuff. Yes.
Well, thank you
Yes.
for everything. I'm
Yes.
glad you're
You're
here in
welcome,
this
and
now
thank you,
moment
guys.
with us. You put your link up in the room in the Fearless Family group, and then I will connect it to under this show so people know how to find you if they're just not coming to the group. Your link will just be below
Yeah.
in
Okay.
in the description information. Right. And then look at this, shaman are just coming alive. Shaman
know.
people
I know.
that are taking themselves out of the sickness or getting help getting themselves out of the sickness with people who
Absolutely.
want to
Totally.
help
It's time.
get people out
It's
of the
time.
sickness.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You're just surrounded because everyone that comes out goes, I don't want to be in that shitty frequency
Right.
anymore.
Because it's time.
I want to be
It's time.
It's
Yeah.
time.
like with you
Let's do it.
guys.
Paula keeps
I want to
saying
be
it.
in this energy.
I'll. It's not. I'll do it when you'll do it now. Now
Yeah,
is the
it's
time.
time.
And I
It's
think
time.
about that a lot. You know, there's times I'll be thinking about something. I'm like, and then your voice will come in my head, and I'm like, she's right. You know, she's not
It's
wrong.
time. It's time. I
It's
begged
time.
Joe, please just trust me and everything will be fine. And he did. And it was. So thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah,
And here's
It's
my link
time. It's
again.
time.
something that
Sent it in a
Oh,
message.
good,
to you.
good.
something
Yeah.
that you guys should know. I'm just letting you know, you women, the women, not you women, you all of you women, the
Oh, yeah.
sacred feminine
Women's
is rising,
Yeah.
right? And
Divine
I am
fe-
more
oh, yeah.
than happy to be there
Hmm.
to watch y'all come back online and start kicking ass. I
Well,
love it.
yeah, we've kind of had to kind of, take
Powerful women everywhere.
introspective hermit time because the masculine was coming back online. So to give that space and energy to rise into what they are meant to be, I mean, that was, that's what that's all about. And then that is something I remember rapping with you about afterward, Frank, was tapping into that divinity because you, in and of yourself, when I said I'm worthy because I exist, I really tapped into that divinity where it's like I am divinely guided, protected, and supported because I am divinity and the universe in motion. Okay. And
You are.
any space that I occupy is hallowed ground. This is a sacred temple, this
Yes,
vessel.
that's it.
mean, it has really started coming to the forefront. Somebody called me a goddess the other day, and I answered to it. Didn't think twice.
Because
I
that's how
mean,
it works. We're
Yes.
back.
Yes.
This is
yes.
what we all wanted. What was it not? We can't deny ourselves now that it's happening.
No.
Beautiful.
The proof is in the
No.
fucking
My
people.
soul is great. My ego is humbled. My heart is open.
Yep.
We are fearless.
All the
And
people that work
I'm enough because I exist.
in the
Yes.
position that you find them in, right? So like people found me and it works. They're going to tell other people, and people that had the experience with Tiff tell other people because
Yeah.
it works. So if you find it working, you have to share it now. That's your
Yeah.
job out there, right? So because this
Tell
is
the
all going to
story.
come online.
Mhm.
How many people we don't even know out there that are about to pop off and do this? I salute every one of you.
Yeah.
And I am so thankful to be in this now moment. And I'm humbled by the power of women. And I absolutely love it. This one right here
I
so
love
much.
you.
I gave her so much shit tonight. It was unbelievable. However, wait till we get off air.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Tiffany, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And everyone go over to
Oh, expanded
understanding on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're going to be on
Yeah. 'Cause we
with
gotta get off.
Aaron
Thanks,
and
Mom.
Kevin and
Thank
Willow. And I think Kevin's going to be on tonight and a few other people. And I love each and every one of you. Remember, the universe rewards bravery. Stay fearless, everyone.
We love you.
See you
Good
soon.
night. Good night,
Bye for
Tiff.
now.
We
See
love
you soon. Good night. I love all of you too. Good
Love you
night.
so much. Bye.
Love you. Good night.